Other than that, hey, Merry Canada Day. If you didn't know, now you know. You know, it's kind of like the 4th of July, but less gun violence. No, I said what I said. It's true. Anyway, how the fuck are y'all? What's going on? Happy hump day and stuff. Don't mind me, I'm adjusting my little back piece here. You guys ready to do some learning today? We are going to do some learning today, and it's not just a simple topic that I just decided to spit out just because. No, it's actually from a journal that came out in this past week that I came across, and I was like, oh? It's not hard to have any less gun violence than anything American. I mean, amen to that. It's true. It's sad but true. And of course, my daughter just made popcorn for lunch. So, hey! Lenny with 49. We got some pretty big numbers going on here today. I wish it was hump day. Yeah, you and me both. Unfortunately, well, a few things. One, my wife's not going to be home until late tonight anyway. And two, MS is a bitch. As my little tiny segue there, I will say in response to, well, shit, there are reasons now, not just I forgot, well, color me curious now. All I am going to say is that I have had meetings this week with my occupational therapist, my social worker, and my neurologist, and there's a lot that I've had to chew on, and I'm going to leave it at that. If you want to know more, would you like to know more? You can DM me later, because it's not something I think I'm open to discussing as of yet. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Sarah. It's 6 months in advance. Holy shit. Mwah. You're just awesome sauce. Awesome sauce stuff. So aside from that, me being in my own head and all of that crap. Nice. Angie with the 45. Wow, holy shit, you fired that thing way over here. I don't know how the hell you did that. You're my newest favorite performer. Thank you, my newest favorite listener. I like that. I totally like that. Anyway, aside from me, how are you guys doing? What's going on with you? Tell me a story. How are you? Let's have a little chitty chat before we get into the meat and taters. 45 with 30 in a row. Hot damn. I don't care about the number, honestly. I don't care about the number in a row. I'm just grateful that it happens. I'm surprised I'm 67 months old. I was surprised. I know, right? Silence. It just blows my little mind. It makes my little brain hurt, is what it does. Plotting with Chris. Oh, for the love of Christ. I knew putting you two in a VC was a bad idea. Just waking up from a nap. Well, happy nap. What did you do for Canada Day? I napped. That sounds very PBM. You have an ear infection. Jesus. Good. Been taking computer classes on fixing PCs. Nice. Nice. Is that what you're doing, hanging out in the tech support channels all day, every day? Absorbing shit like a sponge? Is that what you're doing? Pretty soon we'll call you SpongeBob SquirrelDad. Yeah, that kind of worked. I'm trying. Hey, good on you, man. I mean, you have enough fucking computer problems that if you could get your PC tech license, it would be on your own machine. Pretty sure I'm polyamorous. Discovered this over the last 2 weeks. Alright. I have nothing more to add to that. I'm not here to judge, because I can't. Because I'm nobody to judge anybody else. How do you feel about that? As he goes for the therapist approach instead. Not really, I didn't really mean it, but, you know, I didn't mean it in the therapy way. How do you feel about that discovery? Are you cool with it? My whole area is under extreme heat. 150. Holy shit. Staying next to my air conditioner. Yeah, it's warm out here, but it's not like stupid. It's 21 degrees right now, but it's pretty high humidity. I don't know exactly what the humidity is, but you know, it's warm enough. If it was any hotter, I would feel very uncomfortable. I'll go with that. So I've got my little fan on here. Let me know if you guys can hear it. I'm trying to point it away so it doesn't, you know, distract or anything. We've got the air conditioner in the front room. We got the air conditioner in the wife's room. Warm is an understatement. Follow 2. My advice is to be patient with yourself. I'm hiding in SoCal. Okay. I'm sure it's not much cooler down there. Oddly enough. I can't picture Southern California with the rest of the country being under a heat wave. I can't picture that place being super chill, temperature-wise. Going back to the polyamory thing, I'm not, obviously, but I've had the conversation with a few of the people in the community that are, you know, openly polyamorous kind of thing. You know, the bus, we've talked about it. Ari, we've talked about it. I can't remember who else. There was a couple other people we had talked about it. And it's just, it's interesting, but it's not, I don't think it's anything that I would be able to do comfortably. I don't think I'm patient enough. Dragon, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Dragon. That's right. I don't know how much Dragon and I have talked about it, though, off the top of my nugget. But, I mean, regardless, the point is, ethical non-monogamy for the win. Kind of excited to see where it leads me. I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair. No, if it's something that works out for you, then fantastic. Power to you, right? We're not here to kink shame. We're just here to kink question at best, if anything. Polysapio, currently ace. The only thing I want is to be held. The only thing I want right now is a good coffee. I'd be terrible at sharing. That's the problem I think I have. I think, and you know, as much as I don't buy into a lot of the horoscope stuff, contrary to being married to somebody who's, you know, that witchy nature, I'm a slut for coffee. Me too. To put it as my wife would put it, the Scorpio in me doesn't play nice with others. It's certainly not for everyone. I think I've explained my poly philosophy here before. I'm pretty sure you have, but I never trust my brain because I don't remember anything. We're supposed to be in a heat bubble. I'm hoping these storm clouds are saying otherwise. Fair enough. Don't tempt me. I'm not sure where that came from, but okay. The cancer in me doesn't either yet. Follow a girl in a monogamous relationship. How's that working out for you? Normally I don't make a big deal, but I saw a moose earlier. Normally I leave lurkers alone. But I could have swore I saw a moose earlier and I got like super excited for that. Because I've been missing my moose. Not gonna lie. It happens. The intellectually curious? I'm not sure what you mean there. I thought it was being sneaky. Fellow feel validated of the public system. And help our children here in Denmark. Nice! Moose, alpaca, moose, alpaca, fish. Yes. Something like that.
I'm JP Schuster.
And I'm CB Mooster. And we're here to fight for you.
Like I said, buddy, normally I leave lurkers alone, but I saw a moose name and I got super excited. That's all I got to say about that, because I've been missing me some moose. Unanimous? A solo moose. No, it's anonymous. He was trying to be anonymous. I don't know how well it was working out for him. Obviously not that well. Sorry about that. Lies. Child expert psychologist reports considered I am right that the father should not have contact with his children, so due to the greater risk, you may continue to do. Well, I mean, excellent. Excellent. You got him out of the picture. An Aquarius, though I never wanted to be like anyone else. I mean, fair enough. Like I said, I'm not huge. Once upon a time, I kind of was, but I mean, like, the more... Yeah, it's a puns for me, too. I'm far too scientific-minded, honestly. So, I have a bit of an issue holding that kind of approach on things, I guess. But, I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe that started happening once the autism started roaring out. But not just you. No, I know it's a handful of people, for sure. Again, I'm not going to shit on what you believe in. If that helps you and gives you comfort and that's how you want to look at things, awesome. Take it and go. ADHD, creative mind, autistic, logical mind. It's always a conundrum. You don't need to tell me twice. Because... Okay, watch it, die in real life, yeah. Well, that's one of the things Dan needs to remember. He needs to not mock your choices, because he's one of your choices. So he needs to remember that. I'm not property. No, you're a choice. There's a difference. All right, before we get into it here, I kind of want to apologize for not, and don't shit on me, okay? Chris, Nadia, shut your fucking heads. I know what you're going to say. I'm here with 2 monitors. You got 10, I got 3. 1, 2, 3. I have not been very active on writing the articles this week. Again, for the same reason I have not been very active in reading things this week. I've been very in my head over the last few days because of meetings with some of my MS team and such. Again, that's something we can talk about later. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I just haven't had a whole lot of energy or patience with myself or anything else. So I did have enough to put together a script for today's stream, though, because I thought the topic was interesting. Yeah, you can take that and shove it right up your... Love that holster. We'll go with that. Other than that, I'm totally in shock. You didn't say me, so stop that rule 0. Fine. I'm totally in shock that I reposted a video from like 5 years ago and it garnered over 1.4 million views so far. That stunned the shit out of me. So I think that's really funny. It was the one about the dark coffee. Like, are you kidding me? Mercy! Howoo! Gotta go boost some numbers. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, you know what? If you want to help directly, that helps. Oh, don't forget, I just put out a book last week. Not this past Saturday, the one before that. A little short story. So, exclamation book if you want to check that shit out. Enjoy. I saw an ad and I was like, ew, that's fair. Yeah, I put out a new book, Standard Procedure. Little short story, a little tech noir kind of thing. I thought it was kind of fun. Some people enjoyed it, so there you go. Feed me. I keep forgetting about that one. Stop 99% of my TikTok stuff. All I'm getting is, what I mean, cash out of them $50 for 500. Yeah, no. No. The hell with that. All right, so that's enough of the shameless promo out of me. Let's get to the goods, shall we? As you can see, today's topic is all about growing up with ADHD. Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure all of you could tell me your own story. I have no doubt. But this one actually comes from an 18-year follow-up study, which reminds me, I totally forgot to copy the link and put it in here for you guys. For anybody who did want to follow along or read the article for themselves, If you're watching on YouTube, it is in the description. If you're on Facebook, it is in the description as well. And if you're on Twitch, it's right here, and it's pinned to the top of the chat. So if you want to take a look at the article or the journal yourself, it came out, I believe, in the last week. Yeah, it was in the last week. ADHD grew up with me. Remember, growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. That's the one there. I got a name. It's true. It's true. He does have a name. My question, does anybody else with autism or ADHD find the AI helpful, or is it just wacky me? You're going to have to be a lot more specific than that, honestly. And there are studies on that I have looked at, but you will actually find that there are more people against than for. So I approach my 39th birthday. 19 forever. All right. So there is the study there. Locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me type shit. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. There are studies. That was the rabbit hole last night. Yep. Helps me clean sometime. Honestly, mine helps me put together articles and shit and organize my notes. So there's that. All right. Let me ask you a little opener question then, shall we? Trying to figure out how to word this here. I don't think it, well, maybe some of you might have asked yourself, those of you who have been around for a while know better, but have you ever asked yourself, or have you ever gotten asked by somebody else, will you grow out of it? Because that is one of the biggest, largest, provable, scientifically backed, provably bullshit statements ever. Glad you're still live. Shoot me a text after the stream. I was quick for. Yeah, will do. Daily. I'm gonna do a cake and don't shit myself. Well, that took a weird turn. On voice to explain, mine is helpful in my opinion. Again, you gotta be you have to be very specific with that. But yeah, I agree with you. That's more of a different conversation. Grow out, mask. Grow out, mask. Yes, grow out. Ha ha ha. Exactly. Coming in from YouTube. So, in all honesty, nobody actually followed people long enough to answer that fully. I mean, they could look at people's symptoms and all of the stuff they went through as kids, and then they can compare it to what they go through now, and they can kind of draw the line there, right? One of the diagnostic criteria of ADHD and of autism is that you have to have shown some signs of it in your childhood, right? So, focus on these nuts. Amen to that. But nobody has actually followed people long enough, directly followed these same people long enough for that until now. Again, study is either in the description or pinned at the top of the chat. Okay? 18 years, same people and their siblings too. They followed them and their siblings too. So, if you've ever been told that you would grow out of it, give me a 1 in chat. I want to see how many. And then we'll get into what the study actually did. Couple of you. So you say, once upon a time I got told I would grow out of it. Or I was told that I did grow out of it. When in reality, I was fucking riddled with it. Parents were told my brother would grow out of it, ADD back in the 90s, yeah. I was told that I may grow out of it. Which, for the greater part, before I get into a lot of the nitty-gritty here, for the greater part, I find, in just my observational experience and nothing else, is that people tend to learn to mask better as they get older. So they end up learning how to suppress a lot of their giveaways, their telltales, right? So my husband thinks he did. Turns out not so much. Did he just get better at masking, or is he just ignoring everything like reality? Okay, so here is what the study did. Now, this is a Dutch cohort, part of the Image and Neuroimage project. They started in 2003. So currently they are on wave 4 of this project. I more grew into mine. Okay, so this has 421 people that were tracked. 154 are childhood ADHD, 138 were their siblings without a diagnosis, 129 were unrelated controls in this study. The average follow-up, 17.6 years, so almost a full 18 years. Almost a full adult later. These people were kids when this started and are now in their late 20s, okay? 7 outcome domains: psychiatric status, behavioral and emotional problems, academic and professional functioning, adaptive functioning, neurocognition, physical health, and healthcare use. These are all of the outcome domains that they were looking at. Why do the siblings matter in this assessment? I gotta turn this light on here. Why do the siblings matter in this? Does anybody know why? Can anybody take a guess why the siblings matter in this? I am curious to hear what your thoughts are. As I bounce over to this corner of the stream here. There we are. Anyone know? Anyone know? While I take a sip of my Java? Because siblings are annoying as fuck. Well, okay. I mean, you're not necessarily wrong. I could agree with that. Anybody else got a better smart-ass answer than Nadia does? Because I'd love to hear it. While you're typing, I'll tell you the actual answer. Obviously, they share half the genes. That's why. And a lot of the same childhood environment, but no formal diagnosis. Hi, sorry. ADHD, genetic, hereditary, and mostly, if you have it, your siblings will do. More or less, that is what they were testing for, right? Because it is genetic and heritable, right? They share half the same genes. So that's why they were included in the study, but they were the ones who did not have a diagnosis. So that's the control for, maybe it's just growing up in that house versus it's specifically the ADHD. Don't be sorry, Dan. Do your thing. Question for you guys. I don't wear jeans either. I'm wearing shorts right now. Likelihood of them having ADHD is about 45% if you have a diagnosed sibling or something like that. From what I recall, don't quote me on this. I'm going back like 5 years to dig this out. I believe it is 45% if you have a single parent, 70% plus if you have both parents. Feel free to fact check me there. But off the top of my head, that's what I remember. My mother denied mine so hard that both my older siblings had it and she was already gone. Okay, so does anybody have a sibling here that dodged the diagnosis? Or were you the sibling that dodged the diagnosis? Here's my question for all of you. Nope, they're all fucked. My brother has ADD. No, your brother has ADHD. ADD no longer exists and hasn't in 13 years. And by that I mean, if they were diagnosed ADD prior to 2013, I get it. I totally get it. There are a lot of people that still say it. Correctly, ADD was rolled into ADHD and is more commonly known as the inattentive type. And Asperger's, yes, that as well. But Chell, I'm going to assume your name is Chell. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please. Older sister dodged the diagnosis. All 4 of us clearly have it. Fair enough. You guys have a good time and early with the boy. All right, Devil, you take care of yourself and take care of your boy there, all right? Just say Danke. Bitte. Anyway. I guess you won't get that joke if you don't speak German. Anyway. Now you know if you didn't know before. So your brother has got it. Okay, but do you have it? Or did you get dodged? I dodged a bullet, but I don't have SIBs. I mean, okay, fair enough. I dodged it until I had a bad concussion where my neurologist diagnosed me. They even had to convince me and my mother. Pretty sure I've heard that story before. I just saw that. I'm not going to say a word about it. I'm just going to look. I'm going to look straight at you. You know who I'm looking at right now. Because I just got an alert on my phone. You know who I'm looking at right now. And I'm just going to say this. Love you. Never gotten a check, but I can't really sit still. You know, I got dyslexia, so I don't know if I dodged it or not. I mean, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And whether you're diagnosed or not, you're welcome in my house. So there you go. I'm diagnosed ADHD. My brother is diagnosed ADHD, but we both agree is also autistic. Probably. Dodge middle brother, possibly misdiagnosed. Okay. Gotcha. Misdiagnosis is a thing, right? Remember that Venn diagram. Only child my star has more kids 15 years later, probably as I still don't have a diagnosis. I want to cringe and hide. That's all I'm saying about it. That's all I'm saying about it. Pretty sure all the family have misdiagnoses, parents included. Well, I mean, parents is a completely different topic on the same topic. It's a nice sidestep. Not necessarily part of that, but I'm not afraid to go there today because I feel like my father is ADHD as fuck, right? But my father is also a boomer, right? So you have to think back to, like, he was born in, what, 50... I want to say 55, right? So, like, he's 70, I think he's going to be 72 this year, right? So, back then, what was their stance on a lot of mental health stuff, right? It was either it didn't exist, tough it up, you'll grow out of it, you're shifty 5, yeah. I think it was 55, I don't remember exactly. But, my sister was never diagnosed anything. Though I don't know, man. If you've met my sister, yeah, walk it off. Yeah, there's another one.
Drink your water. Unclench your jaw.
Drinking my coffee. That's for everybody. Hydration check for everybody.
Something yummy, motherfucker.
And girls don't have it. Yes, of course. Of course. All right. Well. Oh, it's because ADHD has them. Got a Sprite and ice. Take it. I will accept that. All right, so the headline with the asterisk that matters here, okay? The number that'll get quoted everywhere is that child ADHD groups showed worse outcomes on more than 60% of the measures compared to the controls and the siblings in this, okay? The asterisk, and this part is important, okay? Most of those differences were small effects. And there were massive overlaps between the groups. A lot of the adults with childhood ADHD are functioning right in the normal range. So it's not a doom study, right? This is not a pile-on study or anything like that. Okay. It's what do they call it? Heterogeneity? I think that's right. Heterogeneity. Something like that. Not destiny. So some people struggled hard. Some people are doing fine. Does this sound like anybody else in the room? Okay. The data holds both at once. So I'm just going to catch up on some of what you guys were chatting about here. Scrolling. Pretty sure my grandfather was autistic. I'm pretty sure mine was as well. I built his house himself because he did not like the way the contractor laid out the plans. Hyperprotective with the hand tools in the shed. Yeah. Just little things, right? My mom, do you think I'm autistic? She asked, and she was rocking back and forth while lining up the color coding in her raw collection. Do you think? I mean, you know, I don't want to go diagnosing anybody across the internet, but again, remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional. I am a double certified ADHD and autism coach, but that's it. Heterogeneity? I think it's what it's called. If I'm not mistaken, feel free to correct me, Angie, if I am. I have that written off to the side in my notes. Once again, I forgot to add some fucking context because, you know, smart boy. Anyway. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a squirrel. Amen to that. All right. Let us have a little gander. My brother and I just laughed. Yeah, we'll just file that under no shit, Sherlock, and we'll get back to it. So the psychiatric and behavioral findings. Okay, so again, remember I said that there were seven different, where do I put it? Seven outcome domains: psychiatric status, behavioral and emotional problems, academic and professional functioning, adaptive functioning, neurocognition, physical health, and healthcare. Pronounce it correctly? Well, fuck me. Efficacy. That's all I gotta say about that. Describes something composed of different elements is the opposite of homogeneity, which describes the system comprised of the same elements. Okay. Right. Okay, so I was right. Okay, so the first one here is the psychiatric and behavioral findings. Remember, this is a study of 451-ish people, 421 people over almost 18 years. Made me smile and laugh. It made me smile too. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to be that guy. Is the conjunction you were looking for? No, you weren't here for the joke. The joke was I couldn't pronounce the word efficacy. I know you're being a smartass. I've met you. You're a waste. Means you're a smartass. Hydration check for all of y'all. Thanks, Sandra.
Eat something yummy, motherfucker!
Okay. I'm going to put a snooze on this ad thingy here. I'm actually going to snooze it twice. I'm going to add us 10 minutes here because I know this part is no, we'll see if I need it. This part here gets a little into detail. Oh, no, I could fucking sum this up quick. All right, so the psychiatric and behavioral findings. The biggest effects live in this area here. Efficacy. Pretty much. Okay, so the ADHD diagnosis at follow-up. 45% of the childhood ADHD group, they still met the criteria versus 9% of the controls and 11% of the siblings. So the odds ratio were 8 or something, 8.21 versus the controls. Okay. I thought my mistake was bad. This heat wave. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Dude, if we got hit with a heat wave out here, my body, I swear to God, would like turn into peanut brittle and I would fall apart. MS for the fucking blues. Anyway. So, in this same group, depression. They found that 18% in the ADHD group versus 8% of the controls, 6% of the siblings. I'm not going to worry about the odds ratio. I don't think you guys give a shit about that. Making him tired. You're 2 fucking naps today. Yeah, I would be like face down in my bed with a fan blowing up my ass at that point. Depression, what's that? Well, It's what you make when you go face down into the bed to have a nap. That's what it is. You make a depression into the mattress. You see what I... Anyway. Have you considered you may be sleeping too much? There might be that, I guess. I snorted at that. Thanks, that was off the cuff. Clinical depression definitely sucks. Amen to that. Okay, so more into this. Such descriptive visual of the fans. Admit it, you liked it. Don't bullshit me. I know you liked it, and I know you laughed at it. You're not kidding anybody. Walked outside, bring out the recycling, automatic headache. Just a quick sidebar here before I get back into this. That just made me think of my first time going to Vegas. Because up here, we have like whatever percent humidity. Relatively, it's kind of humid up here. Nowhere near as Ontario. But in Alberta, it's kind of humid-ish kind of thing. First time I went down to Vegas, when I first walked off the plane, I felt like I walked into a fucking wall of hot. That was like a physical wall. It felt like that. You know that feeling? When it is so hot and dry out there that you just like... Right? And it feels like it just sucks the life right out of you as soon as you take a step outside of an air-conditioned, almost like drowning. And thing is, in Ontario, when I spent time out in Ontario, I felt like I was walking in soup. It was only like 26 degrees on average for the week that I was out there. And this is back in 2014, so like 12 years ago. But yeah, it literally felt like I was walking through soup. I get that coming to the plane in Florida, and yes, soup, yeah. What about your naughty buttons? Giggity, giggity. Because it's funny, that's why. Anyway, every time I let the dogs out, our humidity is no joke. Yeah, no kidding. All right, let me wrap this up here real quick. The large effects. This is still on the psychiatric and behavioral findings. The large effects also showed up in externalizing symptoms and autistic traits. Okay, the last one is worth kind of sitting on for a sec here for all my ADHD folks like myself. Since the overlap between ADHD symptoms, right? The Venn diagram is damn near a stack of pancakes, right? But the autistic traits is exactly the lived pattern that a lot of this audience already recognized in themselves. Your lungs are used to humidity and you go to a very dry environment, it can be all in your lungs. Yes, it can. 100%. Pennsylvania in July is like swimming in heat as you walk because of humidity. I can imagine. Well, yeah, when I was out there, I was in Ottawa, so I was like right there on, right near some of the Great Lakes and right on the river. Words. Happy Canada Day. Anyway, so the moderate effects in these findings here: mood dysregulation, physical and social aggression, lower educational attainment. Small effects, still real, just smaller. Internalizing problems, callous, unemotional traits, rule breaking, tobacco use, and gaming addiction symptoms. Hoshi Hoshi. What's up, baby? I don't know why the bot doesn't seem to recognize you, but okay. Remember when we thought we just had ADHD? Ah, good times, right? It's a Hoshi Hoshi. Damn right it is. I dodged tobacco use. I did not. Okay, so for my ADHD folks, you know who you are. Does the ADHD and autistic trait overlap? Track with any of your own experience growing up while you're thinking about it, thinking back over your life, okay? Does the ADHD and autistic trait overlap? Track with your own experience. Looking back over my life, yes, it absolutely does. now that I can look back at it with the lens, as opposed to just, oh, I was kind of hyper when I was a kid. I did too. I've never been a nicotine user. That's what I am now, right? I'm very thankful I quit smoking and got onto this. Now, admittedly, yeah, okay, somebody will tell you, no, that's good, that's bad, blah, blah, blah. Okay? It's 4 ingredients versus like 7,000 carcinogens. Shut up and leave me alone. We're all dying 1 second at a time anyway. Wasn't that fucking chipper? Anyway, I came to see you so you can cheer me up. Well, that's what I'm here for. Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, if you really think about it, and, you know, in my case, I have to, if I'm going that far back, I have to do a lot of thinking. As I look back on it, yeah, I can see it. It's that dude I've been dealing with, and it's one of those things I don't want to traumatize others by talking about. Can you hold on to it for a little bit? Because if you can hold on to it for a bit, Hoshi, then we can talk about it after we do the educational part here, okay? Hold me to it. Okay, promise? If you can hold on to it, we can talk about it after, okay? I think that's a fair trade. As long as you give us like a trigger warning topic or something, then we can, you know, we'll worry about getting the educational stuff out of the way first. I've been holding. Hang on to her. Okay, I promise we'll have a chitty chat. Butter has fewer ingredients and margarine. Not really healthier for you. I'm not preaching. I'm just saying beware of false logic. I'm just saying none of the things in here are proven to be carcinogenic, is what I'm saying. And that's the primary concern for me. Did I say it's great for you? No, you're still inhaling something into your lungs, you dumbass. Right? So, lesser of two evils in my opinion. Anyway, it is time for that self-care break. So I'm going to ask you guys to go and grab yourself a water or a snack or hit the bathroom. Do what you got to do. But we are going to be right back after Twitch makes their goddamn money. Because they kind of force us to over here. I'm in the, I think I might have the ADHD, but even with the diagnosis stuff, I definitely have the emotional regulation issue. That's why I drink my GHC. Well, the emotional regulation it's a thing for both, right? Because you, like everything in moderation. Yep. But yeah, with the emotional regulation, that's something that affects both sides of that coin, right? But that's something we can get into after we have a little break here. Cool shit? Cool shit. Go and get yourself a snack. Go to the bathroom, pet your dog, check on your child, load your dishwasher. I don't know, I'm sure you can fill the blanks with all of the other good things, but
After these messages,
yes indeed.
we'll be right back.
explode, explode. Break the circuit, break it down. Watch the system hit the ground. Chop, 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 the voices clash.
Hockale dockale. There we are. Hopefully you're able to get a drink or a snack or whatever it is you need. I refilled my coffee and hit the head. If you know, you know. Anyway. All right. So, again, today we are talking about a study that came out in this last week, growing up with ADHD. It was an 18-year-long study studying 421 people. And yeah, kind of the glasses again. Oops. Hi, Moon. Where are we here? As I keep scrolling around, which I shouldn't be doing, I should be sitting on one spot and leave it the hell alone. All right, so what we are moving on to here is the part that actually busts a myth. So, what did they find? They found that 45% still had ADHD at 18 years. That means 55% did not meet the criteria anymore. On paper, most people grow out of it, except the remitted group, which is the one who lost the diagnosis, still had worse outcomes than the controls on most measures. Just smaller effects, admittedly. But, okay, so what's the translation for this? Losing the diagnostic label does not mean the development impact disappears. Bust the myth, that's right. It doesn't mean the development impact disappears. Okay, what it... words here, man. Trying to put the words together. Something about having ADHD as a kid leaves a mark, even after these symptoms technically fall under the threshold. So, of course, the threshold being of inattentive or hyperactive, you have to meet, as a child, you have to meet 6 of the criteria. As an adult, you have to meet 5. Okay? So if they don't present those 5 anymore, remember it being a spectrum, it can shift over the course of your life. It can shift day to day. Okay, so if they no longer meet this criteria, it does not mean that the developmental impact disappears. It doesn't. It is still there. Okay, so even if they don't technically meet that threshold, it still hits them. So where persistent ADHD specifically outpaced the remitted, again, meaning those who fell under the threshold, is that depression, internalizing problems, perceived stress, sleep quality are the 4 where still having it clearly costs you more than used to have it. So it's still there, right? This shit still is affecting these people, even though they technically fall under the threshold of a clinical diagnosis at this point. So if you were told as a kid that you would grow out of it, and you technically stopped meeting the criteria, does this match what actually happened to you? Do you think? Please, what do you think? See, in my case, I can't say that it did because I never fell under the threshold. I just shifted. Now, some of that was physical, right? The fact that I could not be as physically hyperactive as I used to be when I was younger one, I'm older. Duh, that happens. Two, I have a physical disability. So I can't really do that, but that does not mean that I'm still not hyperactive internally. So the hyperactivity is still there. It's just that it presents now further into the inattentive. Moving to phone. Do that. ADHD is really kicking my ass today. All I want to do is go to the store. Okay. You have my permission. I guess, question mark. Do you need my permission? I get the zoomies. I get the mental zoomies. Some of you will watch me get the mental zoomies. I'm sure it's more entertaining than I think it could be. You made dinner? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you know what that means.
I'm a smart wolf.
That's what that means. Good boy. So again, if you want to follow along with the study that I'm looking at, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, it is in the description. If you're on Twitch, it is pinned to the top of the chat. That is the journal that just came out in the last week that we are going over. Enchiladas with ground turkey instead of beef. That sounds all right. I could do that. I've had ground turkey. I don't mind it.
Green flare in the dead black cold.
All right. Let us move on to the neurocognitive findings, shall we? So, under the neurocognitive findings, they found that verbal short-term memory, verbal long-term memory, working memory, letter fluency, they were all lower in the childhood ADHD group compared to both the control group and the siblings. Which, I guess, makes sense. You know, as I sit here and read that and compare it to myself. Moderate effects sizes on the working memory and the letter fluency versus the controls. So there were, you know, well, as I said, moderate effects in that. So what does this mean? It means it's not about the intelligence. It's specific memory and word retrieval. Does anybody else have trouble with that, or am I the only one where you guys sit here and stare at me as I look off into space and try and rein in the fucking thought that I just had? Anybody else go through that? No, I'm sure none of you do. Moving on. Hashtag sarcasm. Please stop calling us out. Where in the fuck do you think you ended up? I'm not sure where you thought you were, Sume. Stop calling you out.
Pressure, cracking.
I missed it. The fucking call out quarter, that's right. That's right. Okay, so I'm just gonna back up and say that last part again. The practical translation, I grabbed the thought, so others know I'm chasing a thought when it happens. You showed up, so no, that's right. I should just put a disclaimer up at the top here. Kind of like Jay needs to put a disclaimer on his stream, but that's a completely different conversation. The practical translation of the neurocognitive findings is that it's not about intelligence. It is specific memory and word retrieval symptoms that stayed affected even years out. Okay, is what that means. Even in people who no longer clinically meet the criteria. Memory issues are awful. They are made worse by the severe chronic depression. That would do it. Yes, it would. When I worked, it was helpful when in meetings. Are you talking about the specific memory and word retrieval? Or are you talking about the ability to hold a thought? Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so here's a good little spot to connect to the practical of this, okay? The lived version. Why can I never find the word I want mid-sentence? Again, how many of you have that problem? Or am I the only one that you guys, again, watch sitting here struggling to think of words in real time? Why can I never find the word I want mid-sentence, or why do I forget things I just decided 30 seconds ago experience. Don't know what you're talking about. Hey, look shiny, huh? The data backs up that it's not just you that is being scattered. It's a measurable, persistent pattern, is what is found in this study. Well, a friend group gets to play word association together. You should see my wife and I around here some days when we can't think of we cannot think of the word for the thing that we are trying to describe. Okay, the amount of like charades that we fucking play with each other, like just on the spot, right? And my wife adds sound effects, which is great because I'm not the only one, but she does it a lot more. She's like the with the that does the that kind of thing. While I stand there with a stupid look on my face, going, "What the fuck did you just say?" And then my daughter will translate for me, and yeah, I'll stand there like an idiot. So, take heed, my friends. Know that it is not just you. Know that it's not just me. It is in this study. It is documented. It's a thing. It happens. We'll zip through the physical health part. That's what happens when I try to make a conjunction live. The physical health part, 2 separate words. What they did in this was they measured higher BMI, which BMI is a thing that I'm not going to get into because I don't believe in it. Less healthy diet, worse diet adherence, more sleep problems were in the childhood ADHD group. According to 2002 podcast, 55-year-old ADHD female had autistic skill regression. Happy Canada Day from Montreal. Merry Canadian Day. Right back at ya from here in lovely central Alberta. And by lovely, I mean, it's Alberta. It is what it is. Mwah. Thank you much, and a Merry Canadian Day to you. If you want to stick around, we're talking about growing up with ADHD in a study that just came out last week. We're in the middle of translating it. Okay, so you talked about the memory issues. The whole friend group. Yeah, the word association. Yeah. Like I said, you should see my wife and I do it live in real time. Some of you have. It's not always fun. Sometimes it's a little scary. But it's how we get through life, right? So, the interesting wrinkle in this part of the study, though, is that the siblings also had a higher BMI and a worse diet than the controls did. So, it was just a smaller effect, but this might be a shared household or like a shared household growing up, or a shared environment thing, rather than being ADHD specific. BMI was invented by a mathematician. Yes, and that's why I have a problem with BMI. Like I said, I'm not going to get into it right now because I don't fucking believe in it, but that's just me being that guy. They used it in this study over the course of, well, since 2003. So we're gonna go with what the report says. But yeah, so the one thing that they did find was for having this higher BMI, but the less healthy diet, the worse diet adherence, the more sleep problems. They find that it might have been a shared household, a growing up environment, rather than being something that was ADHD specific. So that's kind of an interesting point to look at. It is the one that is in the description, Tracy Ann. It should be in the description of the live here. It is the... Sorry, I just got to remember where I am here because I'm going to look at the name of it as I scroll away. It is the Spruten Lumen Oosterleen 2026, Growing Up with ADHD, the findings from an 18-year longitudinal follow-up. It is all that. It is from Psychiatry Research. The journal, Psychiatry Research. But yeah, that's the one that I'm pulling all the information from. So if you want to follow along, if you're able to read a lot of that stuff, I'm not necessarily able to. This is why I have Claude pull the cliff notes out of it, the important stuff. And then I try and translate it into human language. Because yeah, a lot of this, not necessarily. BMI's done one moron's idea of beauty. Agreed. Worse is now it's used to abuse people into compliance. Yes. Again, this is another reason that I am not a fan of the whole BMI thing. I think it's horse shit, but because you know what? I fucking love you just the way you are. So there. The thing with the thing, you know that thing? Yes. That's the one, mama. Exactly. Again, too, if you're watching on YouTube or even on Facebook, hey, you wanna hit some of those buttons and things over there? Help a brother out, boosting the algorithm and shit. I'd appreciate it greatly. Anywho, let us continue. Yeah, so I was talking about the interesting little wrinkle in there. But here, I told the BMI might be a stick, so not doing that. That always makes me think of that song, Victoria's Secret by Jax. Victoria's Secret or Victoria's Secret is a guy. Fuck, now I can't remember that. Whatever. You know the one I mean. Anyway, before we jump onto the physical health part, this part is worth pointing out to you guys. This is not a willpower story. Okay, sleep and eating regulation both run through the same executive function system that ADHD fucks with. So remember that. If you are having difficulty with this kind of thing, remember that your ADHD disrupts that stuff. Oh, there's my 4 o'clock med check, which I'll get to in a second. Don't let me forget. So yeah, this is not a matter of willpower. This is not a matter of I'm trying to and I can't do it. Okay? It's a matter of your sleep and your eating regulation are both run through the exact same executive function system that ADHD holds down and noogies. I used to work in McGill. Thankfully, I understand peer-reviewed papers. Can't go back after my brain went bye-bye. That's fair enough. No, by all means. Like, Tracy, and whenever I do these lives, I always try and paste the documents, the journals, and usually it's like brand new stuff within the last week or the last month. I always put them in here. So if you want to take a look at the stuff that I'm pulling from, please. If you want to fact check me in real time, please. Right? I'm not that guy. I'm not too good to be fact checked. Never. I'm never too good to be fact checked. Hey, Weasel! How you doing, buddy? Productive, what does that mean? It means reading through a journal and trying to share information with you guys? I don't know. Alright, let's get to the sibling findings. Right after I once again remind you, this goes through your executive function. Don't be hard on yourself. I love you. Be kind to yourself. Alright, moving forward. The sibling finding. This part is short, but it's important. Alright. Siblings without an ADHD diagnosis looked basically like the controls across the board with a few small exceptions. They had slightly more ADHD symptoms and autistic traits than the control group did. And the same BMI, whatever diet pattern was noted above. You were the goat. I am not a goat, I'm a squirrel. I resemble that remark. But I appreciate you. So yeah, anyway, in short, the siblings had a lot of the same shit across the board there. Aw, thank you, Hoshi. Zoned out, and now the thumbs up has been pressed. I appreciate you, Hoshi. You're great. Your content is evidence-based scientific data. Fucking A it is. And I would not have it any other way. Taking meds first. Thank you, Mama. Thank you for that reminder. These are my MS meds, to be honest with you. And while I'm doing that, let me just, I'm just going to back up and I'm going to address Tracy Ann here on Facebook. The reason that I am so heavily, and it has nothing to do with being autistic, I'm sure. If I rolled my eyes any harder, I'd see the back of my throat. But one of the main reasons that I got so heavily into the scientific and data portion and why I'm so adamant about that is, honestly, it's because of TikTok. and the number of people that I saw that were just spreading bullshit for likes and clicks and views, right? The idiots who would stand in their hallway and point above at the little text above that said, these are 5 reasons that you have ADHD. And they just shared 5 things that everybody does, right? Everybody forgets their coffee in the microwave once in a while. Everybody forgets their keys on the table once in a while. Everybody is a little forgetful once in a while. Everybody gets a hyperactive burst once in a while. Everybody can fall into a hyperfocus once in a while. But what we're talking about here is intensity, frequency, and duration. Are these things that affect your life every day, day to day? Do you forget the work keys on your table so often that it costs you your fucking job? More than once. These are the things we're talking about, not some jagoff standing in the hallway going, oh, you forgot your coffee in a microwave. You had a hyperactive burst. That means you're ADHD. Shut up. It means nothing of the sort. It means you're an idiot who's trying to get clicks for likes and views, and that's it. You're an asshole. Shut your head. Hashtag rant done? Maybe. Thank you, Mama, for the reminder. Greatest of all time. I'm the Gasote. I appreciate you guys. Sensitive frequency and duration is also a key to a very healthy sex life. Hi, Spence! How you doing, buddy? Big shout out to Dopamine Dysfunctional over on Facebook. How you doing, Spencer? You staying out of shit? Hashtag shut your face. The mug for that is right back here. Welcome, welcome. Today we are discussing, as we do a coaching session, we are talking about a journal that just came out in the last week about growing up with ADHD, which I'm sure everybody here can give me a story about. But these guys, they followed a group of 421 people for 17.6 years and took down all the data. So that's what we're going over. Spencer has a hi on YouTube from Hoshi. This is annoying me, these check description for reasons. Yes, I hate those too. I hate those as well. And those actually go across a lot of different categories. I've seen a couple people where they have put, like in the text above their head, something about blah blah blah. Somebody wouldn't believe. What the fuck was it? I'm trying to remember now. It was something that just, it was one of the reels that came up on Facebook or whatever as I was doing a quick scroll, and it was something about like, I can't get a boyfriend because of this, and then in smaller text, check the description. I'm like, why? Like, okay, it worked on me the first time. I clicked the read more, and it was like, blah, wall of fucking text as the video was starting to loop. I'm like, no, dear, nope. I'm out. Good try, but nope. Anyway, back to the sibling finding. There he is! The only time I open Twitch is for this chat. Hi, brother. I hate the watch the end and find out why. Or the one where they're like, I have seven things for blah, blah, blah. There was one that Dr. Ina did, I just saw today, where she called out some guy on talking about how ADHD and pattern recognition. And she just fucking shredded him like she always does, right? But she called out the fact that he said, here are 7 reasons, number 7 is the most important, or whatever the fuck it is, right? That little clickbait to try and get you to stay to the end kind of thing. And I still, to this day, I know some of you have heard me say it, but it still happens to this day. The first time I see a video and they say, stop scrolling, I scroll. I don't know if it's the defiance in me or what it is. But as soon as I hear somebody say stop scrolling, they get a scroll automatically. ADHD person's life must show signs before the age of 12 and have their life be impacted significantly in 2 areas of your life in a chronically and prolonged period for 6 months or more. Yes, that is 100% nose on what the diagnostic criteria does say. I did, for the record, Tracy-Ann, I did mention that at the beginning when we were talking about the fact that they were including siblings and a lot of this were from childhood, etc., etc. And we were talking about the diagnostic criteria. The fact that you do have to, if you're getting diagnosed as an adult, and the same as for autism, is that you have to show that it has to be shown that these symptoms were present in childhood, right? Because it's not a matter of I have a little ADHD. No, you don't. You have it or you don't. You know, I've got a touch of the autism. While it's a cute little phrase, and I'm guilty of saying it myself, it is also adamantly false. Stop me, no, fuck you. Exactly. Lenny does the same. Yeah. But yeah, it has to be present in your childhood, right, to be considered for a formal diagnosis. But anyway, where were we here? As I, of course, get way off topic. Translation: having a sibling with ADHD does not put you at a meaningful long-term risk yourself, which is kind of a ridiculous statement in and of itself. At least not for the outcomes that they have measured in this study. Okay. The negative long-term stuff tracks specifically with having the diagnosis, not just being in the family. I do the same. Your bullshit sector's on point. I like to think it is. Sometimes I'm wrong. I'm not perfect, but I try. So I guess that's it. This is kind of a good moment to name the shared genetics without shared outcome angle. Siblings carry some of the same genetic loading, obviously. Load. And still landed fine. Okay. Genetics loaded the gun, the environment, and individual trajectory decide a lot of the rest. Because remember, this is something that we also say is that environment can affect your symptom presentation, right? Environment, stress factors, hormones, all of these things. Because remember, ADHD is a spectrum. That's why I made my spectrum graph. I didn't grow up with it. I grew up with problems and found out later that it had a name. That is on fucking point, my man. And I think that's actually something that's very relatable for a lot of the people here. I'll repeat that for you, for those who missed it the first time. Okay, I didn't grow up with ADHD. I grew up with problems and found out later that it had a name. I think that's pretty much it. Anybody who is a later life diagnosed probably just got hit right in the feels there. The next put the buttons on the box environment is the ball bouncing around inside the box. It's another great way to look at it. Yeah, mama. It's like CPTSD or OCPD. Genetics make you more susceptible, but there is a trigger that makes it show its face. Yep. It's in a similar regard to being a later life diagnosed autistic, right? When you have been masking and didn't realize that you were masking, and then something happens like, oh, I don't know, a global lockdown where you actually get medication to treat your ADHD symptoms more properly, and then the autism comes ripping out with a goddamn vengeance. Good old environment. Thank you for that. Does anybody have a sibling situation where you're both neurodivergent, but only one of you got diagnosed? Similar to the question I asked you before. Chris, one in chat for the late diagnosed peeps. We were so cool in COVID. I don't know if cool is the word you were looking for there, but we were something, my man. All of the ones. Again, that's a one in chat for the late diagnosed people from Chris. Chris wants to feel less alone. Look at all of you guys. ADHD, not so much. Because remember, I was diagnosed at like 6 or 7. Then I was re-diagnosed at like 23. Then I was re-diagnosed at 43. Alright, so they just wanted to pack it on. It was the autism part that they hit me with at 46. Bleh. My sister cousin biologically is ADHD and autistic. I find more and more actually that my father's youngest brother, his kids, his one son is definitely ADHD. Thinks that he might be autistic. By the way, that's my cousin Kevin Bacon, for those who wanted to know. How many kids has he got? He's got like 3 or 4 kids now. And one of the youngest is abundantly autistic, right? ADHD at 36, GAD at 37, ASD at 38, go me. But ADHD is fuck, ASD possible. Still undiagnosed. Well, remember the rules. Your self-diagnosis in my house is 100% valid, provided you've done the homework, and I know that you have done the homework. They keep saying I don't got because I got an 80, not an Audi, but what? Auntie, can you translate that for me? They keep saying I don't got it. Okay. They keep saying I don't got it because I got an innie, not an Audi. Makes me pissed off. Innie plumbing version. Oh, the plumbing. The plumbing. Voices by Tracy. Please call me Tracy. I will call you Tracy. No, Chris just translated that for me. Sorry, I literally went belly button. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? What is that? What's your navel got to do with this? You're not an orange. Sorry. Sorry that Autism stepped up to the plate and just knocked that one out of the park. Okay, let me catch up. What are the 3 sibs? I'm diagnosed. Youngest is diagnosed. The middle had the option of being labeled and chose not to. I hate 90s AFAB. Choose if you don't want the label because you don't want to diagnose you shit. Pardon the anger. No, your anger is valid here. Remember that. Fiance is one of 13 kids. Jesus Christ. Only 2 are diagnosed, including him. 13 kids? Man, I thought mine with step and half siblings being third of 9 was bad enough. That was a Tism moment for sure, yeah. Are we talking wieners? Yes. I take this literally for 400, Alex. Help me, I'm being attacked on YouTube. Nailed it, Tracy. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Oh, real quick, for those of you that are here and have never been in the chat before, or brand new to the chat, let me just give you a quick little...
Hello there and welcome. My name is Tyler, but people know me by many names. But most know me as Spaz or SquirrelDad. And here's a little bit about me. I'm a mental health advocate. I have autism and ADHD. I'm a giant nerd. I love space. I love Star Wars. I'm an artist. I'm an animator. I'm a musician. I'm a veteran DJ. I'm also a Mandalorian. So what can you expect here? Well, we chat about everything. We talk mental health. We chat about nerdy stuff. We talk about food. Hell, around here, off topic is the topic. All in all, we like to have fun, but we don't talk religion or politics. No. There's enough division and hatred out there already. My community is a safe space for all, no matter if you're neurodivergent or not, if you're gay, straight, or trans, no matter where you are, no matter what color you are, no matter who you love, no matter what you believe. You are all welcome in my house. Just respect everybody and don't be an asshole. So again, welcome.
There you go. There's the short version. Auntie, while I do appreciate that you were trying to keep it gender diverse instead of duality, that wasn't so much a matter of gender as it was a matter of sex, because sex and gender, as we all know, are 2 completely different things. Having an innie or an outie has nothing to do with your gender. And by the way,
trans rights are human rights, and if you don't agree, you can fuck off.
There we go. So just to, put a little clarity on that one. Oh, and again, by the way, happy Canada Day if you're not a traitor. Sometimes we do talk religion and politics. It's true. It is true. What we do. Hydration check for everybody. Hope your daughter is well. I think she's doing well. Hey, Jasa. Are you doing well? Somebody asked if you're doing well. Yep, she's fine. She is enjoying her summer holidays is what she's doing. We do it in appropriate context. Yes, that's true. And that is the key. Yes, it is. Because we have learned, well, I have learned over the last couple of years that unfortunately sometimes neurodivergence is a political thing. Or rather, it just about always is. But there are times when there are politics that do directly affect a lot of people in the community. At that point, yes, I will come rip roaring. Like we talked about MAID, that is political for sure. Yes, we did. That came up actually in the post section, which by the way, we're almost there. And Hoshi, I did not forget. I owe you a conversation. But again, we're just going to wrap this up here. Let me see. 8 minutes for the next self-care break. Okay, let me just real quick. We will do the coaching translation part of it, which I like to put in. If you read the articles, growing up as a supportive family, solid understanding of neurodivergence, you would, I don't know if you would be shocked or not by how much she does know. She's brilliant, my little one. Academically, we don't worry about that one at all. She just needs to do the fucking work. Wanted me talk. Shortly. I'm just saying I didn't forget about you. Also, does Kiddo still use she, they? Because it's been a hot minute since we asked. Jasa, I have been asked if you are still going by she, they. She says yeah. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, on your TikTok it says any pronouns? Yeah, on her TikTok it says any pronouns. Yeah, no, that's fine. No, she goes by pretty much any pronouns. Sounds like that is freaking smart as heck. Amen. But Chris, thank you for asking that. Okay, so let's wrap up real quick this coaching translation part of it, okay? So if you're an adult who no longer meets the criteria, okay, because things have changed over the course of your life, the ADHD history is still relevant context for your doctor, your therapist, and for yourself. Don't file it under used to have doesn't matter now, because that is not true. I've been in a loop. About the any pronoun part. I remember the she, they part. The any pronoun thing is relatively recent. Variety plans, listen, video games. I hope it's you, Zencat. By the way, congratulations to you. Did you get the stuff here from those 7-Eleven points? I wonder because they got rid of them all. Yes, at the time, yes. Okay, so next point. For the what to actually do with this information. Okay, so again, don't file all this under used to have doesn't matter now if you don't meet the if you fall under the criteria for a professional diagnosis. Okay, sleep and diet aren't separate self-care line items from ADHD management. They're part of the same executive function system. Treat them as connected, not separate. Okay, that tracks with the data that we've got here. Okay, so again, your sleep and your sleep and diet, treat them as similar because according to the data in this journal, because of the executive function system they run through, they are kind of tied in. Okay, if you're a parent of a kid with ADHD and a sibling without, the study says you can probably stop white knuckling about the non-diagnosed kid's future on this specific front. Okay, because a lot of these things are still going to show. The persistence versus remission data. It's a decent gut check for anybody who is deciding whether ongoing symptom management still matters, even if they are doing okay. Depression risk and sleep quality specifically tracks with current status, not just the history of it. Okay? So, one thought to close all this stuff with. Does anybody have any questions about it? Does anybody have anything they want to add to it on the topic of growing up with ADHD, and how some of these findings in this journal, do they hit a chord? Do they hit you in the feels? The floating heart. Oh, thanks. Sorry if I don't say much about those, Hoshi. Those are like new to me. I don't understand those, but I appreciate the hell out of them. And don't give me the butt dad. I saw some news that adults with functional. Yes, actually, Zencat. That was part of the article that we were reading out of. It's a new one that was put out this past week about. It was a study that follows 421 people over the course of about 18 years. And overall, basically, what they have found is that even if their symptoms shift to a point where they no longer match the criteria for an official diagnosis, these things still do affect them, right? So a lot of this kind of, in my mind, can be filed under no shit Sherlock. I feel depressed when ADHD is something that many people will learn to function, but I doubt you can ever get over it entirely. It'll be something that stay with you. Yes, it will affect you your entire life, right? It is not something that you grow out of, right? You may, again, your presentation may change, your traits may change over the course of your life. That, again, they can change from day to day, depending on things like environment, hormones, stress, etc., etc. Just like trauma, you never get over it and learn to function despite it. Yep, no, I agree, right? But just because these things can change over the course of your life does not mean, like, even if you fall under the threshold of meeting an official diagnosis, it does not mean that these things do not affect you, right? I'm just grateful for the research that the scientific community is so passionate in looking into how ADHD impacts in society. This was one of the ones. I'll give it the short version before we do the self-care break here. I subscribe to the Google Scholar, the brand new information on ADHD and autism that comes out. So we're talking like peer-reviewed journals that comes out every week. I get anywhere between 100 and 140, and I'm not kidding, between 100 and 140 peer-reviewed journals that come out. I get them emailed to me, and what I do is I have Claude go through my emails, sort them into ones that I feel are most relevant for our community, and these are the ones that I try to break down and write articles about. So this is one of them that just came out in the last week. There's another one that I have on, it's on autism, which I was probably going to save for Friday, and we would cover that on Friday. I will check the actual name of it when we do the self-care break here. But yeah, 100% of my, you guys know that if you followed for long enough, you guys know that 100% of my shit is scientific backed, peer-reviewed data, right? And if somebody gets something wrong somewhere, somebody gets something wrong, right? Fact check me, always. That's what I always say. I'm not afraid to be fact checked, right? If you find something wrong with what I am presenting and you can show me, 100%, right? That's the beauty of science. It changes, and we just have to keep up with it. I do have a personal question. I want to do better for a good friend. She isn't officially ADHD, but she is very much Autism. I got a message a day ago where she told me that it is official now, so she feels weird about it. So I checked back with her on Friday for that. I just want to be a better friend. Can you clarify? You know what? I'm going to put... Hang on. I'm going to snooze the ads here for a second while Zencat and I talk about this before we do the self-care break. Can you clarify that for me? Just the part about... okay, you said she is very much Autism. I got a message a day ago where she told me it is official now. What is official now? Her autism diagnosis? Her ADHD diagnosis? Therapist finally gave the official autism stamp. Okay, so she feels weird about being diagnosed autistic. What parts of it make her feel weird about it? Love getting fact checked. I'm wrong, prove it. Oh wow, new things to learn. 100%. That is exactly it. Right? I'm not afraid to be wrong. She feels different from it. Feels like what changed? Well, The honest answer is probably nothing. Honestly. The honest answer is nothing probably changed. Right? The therapist probably just saw she would go through 5 stages. Well, she'll go through the grief period, right? It is 100% like a very common experience, right? Ask anybody in the chat here who has been a late life diagnosed, myself included. There is going to be a stage of grief, a stage of loss, a stage of anger, right? You want to be a better friend? My opinion. And you know what? Anybody else here, I want to hear your guys' opinion. Zencat wants to know, how can they be a better friend? She'll get into a different style of therapy in the future and have an official... She will get into a different style of therapy in the future for having an official diagnosis. Yeah, probably. They will probably want to put her into probably a CBT. Hopefully not an ABA, because ABA is like the worst possible thing that you can do to somebody that's like bordering on cruelty, on torture for some of us. But cognitive behavioral therapy can be good in small amounts. But for me, because I know it doesn't change much for friendship. Do you feel like it does change your friendship? Bething, okay, so here's advice coming in from YouTube. Getting an ASD, I feel like being hit by a freight train, lots of grief and anger. Yes. Best thing to do, just let her talk. I agree with that. To be a supportive friend, listen. To be a good friend, listen and be supportive. Yeah. Just be there for her and ask how you can help and let her lead. Yep. Anybody else? Anybody on Facebook on one? Because I'd love to hear what you guys have. She'll figure things out as she unpacks her trauma. Yes, and with the help of therapy. Absolutely. No, for me, it does not change the fucking thing, but she feels like different, so I will try to make her, to make time for a voice call and listen. Yeah, and you know what? If she feels different, that's valid, right? That's 100% valid. You can, and I did as well, there might be a period of regression, which is actually the stream we had on last Friday, I believe, right? There may be a period of skill regression, right? Where she feels like she can no longer do the same things that she was able to do just a month ago, just a year ago, right? It is part of the process. She'll feel different, like it's getting glasses for the first time. That's actually a very, very very close description, right? It is like looking at the world now, literally with a different lens, right? She will probably go back through the course of her life and look at things. Hang on, I'm going to snooze this again. And look at things differently, right? The regression blindsided me. Me too. There are still things that I'm fighting with that. And we're talking, what, 3 years later? 3 and some years later. But yeah, the getting glasses for the first time, that's a really good description, right? Because looking back over the course of your life and seeing how and why the things that you did, the way that you reacted to situations, the way that you handled relationships and things like that. You know about it once a professional gave you a stamp and unlocked things at therapy valid. No, 100%. That is 100% true. And that goes for a lot of things. Something I'm struggling with this week, and I'm not going to talk about it. But there is a big difference between sitting and thinking about it and even being a self-diagnosed, somebody who goes through all of the online tests, you know, this silly little fucking whatever it is. Then you go through the information, right? You guys have seen the information that I took when it came to getting my diagnosis, right? I walked in with a shit ton, a stack of papers and all of the results of the online test, right? But there is a difference between me saying, I think I'm autistic, I feel like I am a self-diagnosed autistic, and somebody professional saying, yep, you are. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be ADHD, it could be autism, could be my MS, it could be whatever else, right? There is a giant leap mentally for most people when that happens, right? It literally clicks, and you do look at things differently from there on out. Or getting hearing aids, you'll learn trucks make noise. Yeah, I felt seen and validated, and it wasn't a me doing things on purpose to be difficult, and there was an actual reason. Yeah, as Spencer pointed out earlier, right? I grew up. It wasn't I grew up with ADHD. It was I grew up with a shit ton of problems and found out there was a name for it. Right? Tracy, forgot how to edit audio files. I'm a voice actor. Forgot how to put on makeup, etc. It's terrifying. You're a voice actor? Is any of your stuff online, Tracy? I'm very curious. That's coming from me as a voice actor, once upon a time. I'm curious. I would love to see your stuff. As I go way the hell off topic. Because, you know, this is how we do. Zencat, do you feel better about this? Do you have any further questions? You can bring them here. Yeah, you can bring them. Yeah, obviously under your name. Sorry, it's just funny to me because it just kind of clicked and it's like, yeah, you're commenting on YouTube under the account where the videos probably lie. Sorry, I'm laughing at myself there. Jasa is a voice. Yes, my daughter is a voice actor too. Growing up with a diffused feeling, then learning there are semantics for it, and keep it going. And someday you finally get a therapist and you talk about shit with them. Yeah. Is there ever a prescribed way that we actually approach the topic? No. Remember, off topic is the topic. Request it and we will try. Oh, are you talking about you want me to cover a specific topic? If you go into the Discord, because this is for anybody, if you want me to cover a specific topic, go into the Discord under the Coach's Corner channel. Coach's Corner channel. It is up in the top. I can't remember what category. It's up at the top. Put it in there and tag me. Your daughter's obviously awesome. My daughter, oh my god, I could go on for days and days. But if you want to see something hilarious, she streams on Twitch as well, okay? The last game she played was Deltarune, which is the sequel to Undertale. She voice acted, and Nadia can back me up on this, and Linny can back me up on this. She voice acted every character as she played alone, and it was fucking epic. It was wicked to watch. It was so much fun to just sit there and watch her go through it and voice act. Hey?
My voices have been mentioned.
Your voices have been mentioned.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil, and she shall appear. Come over here, my child. All right, fine. We're going to put another snooze on here. We're going to give you a little highlight section. For those who don't know, this is my youngest. This is Jasa.
Hello.
Hello. She was amazing. Yeah, because Lindy and Nadia were both there when you were doing that stream.
Yep.
Right? Your kiddo was great. Yes. I wasn't talking about a specific topic. I was just commenting on the approach itself. Ah. Epic hair highlights. This one. This is the one with all the voices. Yes. Yeah. This is the one that takes after me. This is also little Susie in our ADHD Incorporated ads.
I'm the one who says the devil words.
That's right. And you know what? I'm going to play that on our self-care break here.
We need to make more scripts.
I have the scripts. We need to record them.
That's what I meant. We need to record more scripts, Father.
Maybe that's something we can do tonight.
Yeah.
There we go.
My favorite characters to voice in that game is currently Noelle and Susie.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's my little Susie. Yes, it is.
God fucking damn it, Chris, where the fuck are we?
She has the attitude to chew up all the devils. Yes, she does. Forgot the spelling. Jaesa. Close. But yes, that's my youngest, my brilliant little voice actor. Thank you for popping in. Sorry, power went out. I'm sorry that your power went out. Double duty, family bonding, and getting more recorded. Yeah. Must record more scripts. Oh, yes. I've been sitting on brand new scripts for like 3 months. And, oh, yeah, she would be an amazing DM. I've been sitting on brand new scripts for the last 3 months. And I've been meaning to get them recorded. But, of course, we're all over the place with all of the things. So, the power went up for pizza? Yes. All right, so here is what we're going to do. Oh, no worries, no worries. We also don't get all uptight and anal about the fact that people don't spell it correctly the first time. That's whatever, fine. It's a unique name. I named her after a fallen Jedi. So there you go. She DM'd something that would be absolutely volunteer. You'd volunteer for the chaos. I don't doubt it. All right, here's what we're going to do. We are going to take that self-care break. And you know what? I'm actually going to line up a couple of little commercials for you guys to enjoy the sound of Susie, because why not? They're also from like 4 years ago, so there you go. Anyway, for those of you that are brand new here and have never seen a stream, this is how we do. Once an hour, I force you guys to have a self-care break. Why? Because as neurodivergents, we actually suck at taking care of ourselves unless we kind of get a little poke in the ribs to go and do so. So in order for Twitch to earn their keep and get their ads in, and YouTube as well, we're going to take a couple of minutes self-care break. All right? So I want you guys to go get some water, have a snack, go to the bathroom, pet your dog, whatever you need to do. We're going to take a couple of minutes, and we shall return, okay? And then Hoshi and I are going to have a chit-chat. Cookie truck when you get back. Somebody want to throw the cookie truck? If you fail to take care of yourself while I'm here, I am ready to take care of you. Aw, Zencat, you're awesome. You are awesome. Yes, we absolutely forget the basics. So here, first off, cookie truck, grab yourself a cookie. Thank you, Moon, I appreciate that. Grab yourself a cookie, grab yourself a snack, glass of water, hit the bathroom, do what you need to do. We shall return in just a moment. As soon as this goes past. Hydration check.
Eat something yummy, motherfucker!
Damn right.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
On the floor. Put it all down.
ADHD Incorporated presents The Adventures of ADHD Man. Hello there, citizens.
Wow, it's ADHD man!
Yes, and I'm here to deliver your superpower.
Cool.
Amazing, what's my superpower?
Imposter syndrome.
Yay, what's that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Imposter syndrome is that little voice in the back of your head that tells you that you're a failure, you're a fraud,
Wait a minute.
that you're never good enough.
Wait a minute, I thought you said this was a superpower.
Yeah, this sounds like shit.
Yeah, Susie.
Tune in next time as ADHD Man takes on the dysfunctional executive.
Hey kids, are you tired of your labeled video games?
Not really.
Is the Switch just not scratching the itch like it used to?
I mean, hyper-focus is a thing.
Is your PlayStation more of a lame station?
Dude, that was a shitty joke. Mom, Susie is using the devil words again.
Maybe it's time to try something brand new from ADHD Incorporated Kids. It's the game of ADHD Life.
Great, another stupid board game.
In the game of ADHD Life, you get a glimpse of life with ADHD without the side effects of medication. Fun to play with the whole family.
Do we have to?
Why are there so many pieces missing?
I didn't get my school accommodations. Now we need to drop out. That's bullshit.
What the hell? Has it left me for a younger woman? Because I forgot her anniversary?
So, do we just go in a circle forever and never win?
This is fucking stupid. Take this game back.
The game of ADHD Life from ADHD Incorporated Kids. Also coming soon, Snakes and Adderall. Wait a minute. So you get to roll twice for 4 hours. Then you go all the way back to the beginning and start over?
Who comes up with this shit?
Susie,
Were you Dutch oven by your one-night stand and now suffer from respiratory illness?
Have you looked in a telescope only to see the brown eye?
Get caught cooking meth in a Winnebago?
You mean want a bango? Did you lose a fight with a scarecrow?
I'm JP Schuster.
And I'm CB Mooster. And we're here to fight for you. Automotive accidents,
Medical malpractice.
workplace injury.
Scared of the dark?
Call Schuster and Mooster at 1-800-MONSTER.
We check under the bed.
Well, that's scary.
Schuster and Mooster.
Attorneys at law.
I'm gonna be a bunny for Halloween.
Phone books can be toilet paper? Phone books can be toilet paper.
By hiring Schuster and Mooster LLC, you acknowledge that no one should act or refrain from acting based solely upon the legal advice provided by Schuster and Mooster LLC, without first seeking much better qualified legal and or professional advice.
I'm JP Schuster.
And I'm CB Mooster. And we're here to fight for you.
Thank you for calling the ADHD hotline, sponsored by Squirrel Co., a subsidiary of ADHD Incorporated. If you're currently having a meltdown and need to scream into the void, press 0 now. Otherwise, please choose from the following options. To have someone activate your hyperfocus to start a task because your executive dysfunction has paralyzed you, please press 1. If you need reassurance because imposter syndrome is acting up and telling you you're trash and not worthy of success, love, or praise, please press 2. To gush about your latest hobby or hyperfocus because the people around you are already sick of hearing about it and you just need to show someone your hard work, please press 3. If you can't find the item you literally just had in your hand and need someone to walk you through the last hour so you can find it again, please press 4. If you can't remember why you called us, but know it was important, please press 5. If you're suffering from decision paralysis and need someone to talk you through figuring out what you want to do, please press 6. If you're shopping and need someone to talk you out of buying the 4,782,746 things in your cart because buying things gives you dopamine, but you just can't afford it, please press 7. To set reminder alarms to remind you to drink your water, eat something yummy, take your meds and unclench your jaw, please press 8. If you're having a meltdown and need to scream into the void, please press 0. If you need to hear these options again, because you have ADHD and have already forgotten which option you needed, please press 9.
There you go. Quick little recap of some of my kids' work. Also, myself, our friend's kid, and my wife were in there as well. So, there you go. Our goofy little ads. All of the 0. All of the 0. No, that totally makes sense. All right. So, before we jump way off topic for the day, does anybody have any closing thoughts on anything to do with this this topic? The journal we looked at today, the coverage of growing up with ADHD and following people for 18 years, comparing it to your own lived experience, anything like that? Anybody want to throw something in? And Hoshi, let me know. I DM'd you for later. Okay. Hoshi, let me know what is the trigger for this discussion that you want to have, out of curiosity, because it'd probably be good to let everybody know so that way we get that covered. And while we get that, while I wait on that, reminder, hey, exclamation book, I put out a book, another one, my second, I don't want to call it a novel, it's a short story. It's kind of fun. I think I dig it. Trigger warning, medical crap, death of family, drowning in grief, I get that. Love the spots, I'll have to look at the research paper. Yeah, Tracy, the paper is in the description in the video here. And the video is going to be up, obviously, permanently. I might edit out the start and the end of it, but that's about it. But yeah, all of the resources when I do a coaching stream like this, they are always in the description on YouTube, the description on Facebook, and they will be in. I usually pin the main one up to the top of chat on Twitch here. And thank you for that, Nadia. I appreciate. Hey, if you can, great. If you can't, I still love you. There you go. All right, so there we go. Hoshi's got a trigger warning because obviously she wants to get some shit out, and that's cool. We can do that. Can't trigger warning for a cancer diagnosis. All right, so if any of this is a little much for you, if you got a step, I get it. I love you. Okay, take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself, right? I have no perms. Okay, one question. How do you manage to keep writing until it's finished? I have 3 books unfinished. Many short stories that are unfinished, unhinged. Maybe I'll look in the zine. The way that... no, Tracy, you being here is greatly appreciated. I don't ever expect anybody to be here. I just appreciate that you guys have got your own lives and shit to do. And for showing up here, Tracy, you even have an avatar down here. Did you know that? Did you notice that you actually have an avatar right there? Yeah, I appreciate all of you guys being here. Okay. How do I know when I'm done? That's the thing is, when it comes to... It's Psyduck. There you go. When it comes to being done, honestly, I look at it the same way as when I'm writing music, okay? I could sit there and pick at it and pick at it and pick at it until the end of time, right? I could nitpick and nitpick and nitpick. When I get to a point where I feel like I want to share it with other people, so like the beta readers kind of thing, right? When I get to that point, if I give it to some people to read and they give me a good feedback on it, and I feel comfortable with that, that's where I kind of decide where that line is, right? Because otherwise, I will sit there and I will pick and I will pick and I will pick. I will edit until the end of time. It's the same with writing music. I will sit there and fuck around with everything, every little knob and dial and lever and all of that, right? There has to come a time where you feel good enough about it to share it and just let it go. And it can be a difficult process. It really can, right? But I've been sitting on a novel that I started writing in 2018, right? I spit out another one in 1 month, a year and a half ago, when I first got the MS diagnosis, because I'm like, oh shit, I better start checking things off the bucket list. I'd never written a novel. Bam. So I wrote one, right? And I'm still very much into the creative writing right now. So that's why I'm sitting on like 3 more novels right now. I just dove right into it. There is one that I am very nitpicky about. I'm still waiting to hear back from people on that, on what they think of it and their input, their opinions, yada yada yada. No pressure. I'm not staring at anybody who is sitting here in the chat who knows exactly who the fuck they are. Love you. Yeah. I only managed to give music to people, and some understood my pain with writing. Nobody cares about my tactical. When it comes to the music, that's a different beast. Like I said, I could sit there and pick at it until the end of time. I love a good tactical drama. All right. They both were expressed, not the same. In beta test for videos, music, and novels. Yes, I do. Yeah, I beta test all of them. Every one of them. And wait on feedback. All right. Let me just get to Hoshi here. Okay, so, again, trigger warning on this one. We gave it to you. Medical crap, death in the family, drowning in grief. Hoshi is dealing with a thing. So again, if that's too much for you, you need to step away. That's cool, right? I love you. Take care of yourself. That's cool. I appreciate you covering the topic with me today. Maybe another day. I think you and I should get into a VC and have a conversation, honestly. Zencat. Anyway. It isn't done, it's only due. Yes, that is something I learned in college, and I try to adhere to that as best I can. It is never done. It is only due. Some days I just assign myself a due date and just be like, okay, no, fuck it. This is where I have to stop. Right? I learned that in design college. It's never done. It's only due, because otherwise I will sit there and I will play with it until the end of time. Anyway, apologies, Hoshi. Here we go. Someone take no rush on Hoshi or discussions surrounding it, obviously. That's fine. Thank you, Lenny. I appreciate that for you just hanging out. I get it. Okay, so trigger warning, all said and done. Cool. Again, you need to step away. That's cool. I get you. I love you. I appreciate you. All right, here we go. On June 23rd, 2026, my 69-year-old mummy died from brain cancer. She was diagnosed with glioblastoma, a terminal type. No treatment available. She was diagnosed and died in 4 months. Okay. And finally finished her obituary. I couldn't even do edits without bawling my eyes out. That's fair. I had to ask several people in AI to help me with the obituary. That's fair. It hurts so much, especially when I'm in a panic attack and I want to call her because she was always my safe space. I get that. I have old voicemail she left me and I haven't been able to listen. I miss her voice so much. I can appreciate that. I totally can. I unfortunately never had the opportunity to, and sorry, I'm not trying to make this about me, okay? Again, remember, neurodivergent, we empathize with our own stories that compare, right? You guys all know this. But for myself, when my mom died, and it was way sudden, back in 2015, I did not have anything that I could save of hers. I don't know what I would be able to do if I did, to be honest. Right? It sucks. Anecdotal dialogue, yeah. Yes, it sucks. I can appreciate how much it sucks. And I am very, very sorry that you have to go through this and deal with this yourself. It looks like, correct me if I'm wrong here, it looks like you're not doing it alone, though. Is that correct? Because from what I interpret there, it looks like you were not doing it alone. You had to ask several people in AI to help me with the obituary. Okay, are these people that you can also lean on? You know what I mean? Are these people that you can go to and just share your stories, your memories, just let it all out? Do you have any other safe people around you? I guess. By the way, anybody else wants to chime in, go ahead, feel free, obviously. Right? I'm not trying to words. I'm not trying to just single Hoshi out, and I'm not trying to say anybody else can't comment. I would never do that. Please, your contribution, add in. Stupid strong emotion, I won't mind my mom dying. Stupid excuse not talk to my friend of the year. I'm unsure if I want to go to the funeral, though. Don't. That's fair, I guess. My mom and I were not exactly the closest, but my dad is emotionally stunted. He won't let me hold his hand when I cry. I have my husband and son. Fucking A words are hard. Or, actually, Tracy, there's another one that I have in here just for that moment. Where did I put it? Of course, I can't find it now that I want it. There it is. I don't speak English. Fuck off. That's the one. Okay, so you're having trouble with your dad being there. You have your husband and son. Are they helping? I mean, I hope they are. Right. The only way that I can, and I thank you for appreciating me empathizing through my own stories, because again, that's like the only way that I have it. For when I went through this, and because I am also alexithymic, is another problem that I have, right? Is when, and I actually talked about this just recently on a couple of streams ago, is when my mom died, I did not have the ability to, I couldn't process what was happening, right? So everybody thought that I was the rock in the room, but really, I'm like, I don't know what I'm feeling. right? Ask me on any day, right? Jay says also alexithymic, so that's something that we have to deal with. My husband helps making sure I eat and take my meds. My son gives me hugs. Excellent. Kudos to your husband for ensuring that your self-care is being met. Because it's bad enough that we, on the best of days, can forget to take care of ourselves. As I just told you before the self-care break, right? It's bad enough that we have trouble taking care of ourselves in the first place. But having somebody there who is able to help you, make sure that you take your meds, make sure that you eat, make sure that you drink water, right? Get some water in you. Very important. Big kudos to your husband for that. It is excellent that you have got that in place. So I think that is wonderful. Your son giving you a hug. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Angie, I miss who I used to think my mom was. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back in my mind to see if we had that conversation or not. See if I remember having that conversation or not. But again, that's also not something that's limited to you. Water, I barely even know her. But yeah, there are a few people that have that same issue, right? Parents that aren't who you remember them to be. I do this a lot. Sorry, bunnies. I'm medicated today. I promise I am. Yes, he is the best man. Fucking A, he is. And you know what? Do me a favor. When this is all done, and the next time you have him around, I don't know if you have him around now or not, give him a giant hug and remind him that he is the best of men. Unless he is touch avoidant, in which case, just tell him. That's my 2 cents. I want to forget who my mom was. Been to me all my life. Been trying to reconcile. She didn't want to do that, so we'll be... so that would be... What is it to the end? Luckily, my dad remarried nicely. I had a second mom who helped me through my teen years. Excellent. Resolved my escapism in the 20s. Well, that's good. I won't cry unless I'm talking to mom. And you know what? Allow yourself to. Feel no shame about it. That is something that I need to remind myself and everybody else, even though I have trouble with, knowing what the feeling is. But a reminder is, feel no shame when you are expressing your emotion, right? Don't apologize if you break down and you have to bawl. If you fucking snot hanging sobbing, don't apologize for it. Let it happen. He's at D&D and I've been telling him for 4 years he's amazing. I appreciate his... You know what? I appreciate his existence in your life. Not ashamed. You show sadness and the hatred and the disappointment. That's fair. Shame is toxic. Yes. My mom went psychotic and didn't know who she used to be. And now is a danger to my family. I love her, but I can't ever mirror mine. It is hard. Yes, I remember you going through that. And again, I don't have the words for that. I empathize with you greatly because, yeah, fucking A, we're humans, not robots. Exactly, right? We need to allow ourselves when going through this kind of thing. And it's funny because it's a shame you didn't throw this on me on last Friday when we were talking about grief, right? Because that topic had come up from Harley Necco. That's who it was. And I even wrote an article about it, !Substack, right? I even wrote that article about grief and ADHD and autism and whatnot. And yeah, us going through it. But yeah, as Tracy pointed out, we're humans, not robots. Even though sometimes, especially as an alexithymic, there are circumstances where I don't know what I'm feeling. I can't express what I don't know how to express. I'm a robot. I even wrote a whole clockwork human. Okay, Angie is a robot. The rest of us, not so much. Even though we kind of act like it sometimes. Actually, I'm talking to someone else when I say nice things about her. We've been married for 4 years. Is he writing the obituary? Nope, that's sorry, I was just saying. Glad to be able to compartmentalize and put it away. Which is fine, in my opinion, in and of itself. Taking something like that, and I guess I will go back to my own mother, that experience, right? I was kind of able to put it away and get to it at another time. It was the processing time. It took a while for me to actually have those feelings be looked at and dissected, as it were. Have trust ourselves, believe in ourselves, and love ourselves. Everything will fall into place. You are loved. Goddamn right. My therapist is always in awe of my ability to compartmentalize. I can imagine. I don't know how well I do it, or even if I do it consciously. Right? That's something that me and my therapist have been bouncing around for a little while, is the fact that I do have such an issue with being able to identify and like just even deal with a lot of the emotions. When everything is valid, everyone ends up on the fence and no one gets to decide that enough is enough. I'm not sure I understand where you're going with that. That could just be me. Not a bottling exactly, but I'll let it out when I have a moment, allow my feelings with it. Then I have put it back in the box. Okay. Thank you for giving me space. Always. I needed that. My head hurts from crying again, but I appreciate you in the station and love you all. And you are loved as well, Hoshi. Don't forget, I appreciate you being here, and I thank you for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing that. I hope that you can get through this as best you can with as little hurt as you can. I know that's saying a lot. And it's going to take a while. It is. You know that, right? You know it's going to take a while. But that's fine. Again, allow yourself. Give yourself the space. Allow yourself, right, to express, to get it out, to let it out. We forget about the fact that we have survived 100% of our life so far. We're doing better than we think. Damn right. Everyone, remember, I'm proud of every one of you. You have survived 100% of the bad days that you have gone through. Let's get dinner rolling. That's fine. My mom's behavior. Okay, I will not consider my mom's behavior as valid. Okay, even though I understand her cowardice, I tried enough to reconnect. Good chat. So enough is on my boundary. And though I should know better by now. I mean, that's fair. Also, another thing though too that I have said is, when it comes to that toxicity, if you need to get these people out of your life, do it. Right? If you need to go no contact with somebody because they are a toxic element in your life, get fucking rid of them. And don't feel bad about it. Right? You are protecting yourself at that point. Don't be afraid to protect yourself. Right? You have to... If you cannot give yourself permission, I give you permission. Okay? If that's what you need, if you cannot give yourself permission to cut people out, to express yourself, to share your grief, whatever it is, I give you permission. Get rid of them. Anyway, I don't think toxic stuff is valid. That's fair. I'm not going to argue with you about that. That's my favorite quote. If you're in this, you have survived 100% of what you thought would kill you. You just leveled up is all you did. That's what you did. But yeah, thank you for sharing that, Hoshi. Again, I wish all the best for you in this. And again, big shout out to your husband for being that rock that you need. That gave me so much insight into my parents being neurodivergent. They both passed away, and I understand them so much better. I kind of do as well. Like my mother, I have a problem associating a lot of this, but for me, that is that's more a matter of my mom and I weren't really close. We were very off and on my entire life. And the fact that I've got like 3 layers of brain fog. So when it comes to thinking back that far and trying to remember things, I fight so hard with it, right? Like I saw my... Sorry, I'm opening a door for myself here and I need to... I saw my neurologist yesterday, okay? And he asked me directly, do you remember when the last time you were here, our last appointment, right? Which was February. Said, do you remember what we talked about last time? And I had to straight up tell him no. I did not remember a fucking thing about what we talked about. I remember I remember he prescribed me a new med. That's all I remember. That was one of the things that he had written down. I'm gonna stop now. I'm not going any further into that. Sorry, that's me talking to myself. But, yeah. That was the thing. So I can't... Hey, Power's back. Welcome back, Dan. So... I can't really think about any of her presentations or anything like that. Remember to forget a keyword to jogging. Sometimes trauma erases so much of our memories. It can. Yes, 100% it can. But again, I've got 3 of those fog layers going, right? I've got the ADHD and the autism brain fog, and then I've got the MS brain fog on top of it, which is just fucking getting worse and worse. Again, I'm not getting into that. But that, when I think back to what my mother's presentations would have been, I can't even think of it, right? My dad is still around, so I can see them, right? Like, I can be like, yeah, my dad, ADHD is fuck, honestly. No, I love you guys. You stop it. Mwah. All my love goes to you. I posted some of my images and made an AI art. I made about 50 in 36 hours. Most over 40 in about 6 hours. I'm assuming you put them in the Discord. Tag me, please, so I can find them. But again, welcome back, Dan. I'm glad your power's back on. Our topic is done for the day, so we're like way the fuck off. We're kind of talking about some trigger warning, death in family type of shit. Thanks for the lurk story. But yeah, when it comes to that, my dad, I can see it. Got something moving though? Okay. Finish disassembling and putting the chicken onto the bake. All right. Yeah, once again, my wife is not going to be home tonight for dinner, so I kind of have to, like, I don't know, I got to go through the freezer and see what I can figure out with a kid and I. Oh, no, I just had an idea. All right, nope, got it covered. We're good. I was talking about it yesterday. Triggered a memory, as ZenCap pointed out. Is a diagnosis for CPTSD available in Canada? To my knowledge, yes. As far as I understand, because a lot of the diagnosticians are going by the DSM-5 TR. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure that is something that my therapist and I talked about a couple of sessions ago. But yeah, the diagnosis is available for it. You help me order chicken for delivery. I fucking wish I had the money to do so. But as I point out here, I'm broke as shit right now, so. Otherwise, it would be, hey, we're having Mary Brown's, fuck all that. But, the hell was I saying? An idea of radical acceptance my friend talked about. She doesn't know how far that might implicate if I were to fully embrace it. Same with Buddhism, maybe they're balanced. I know very little about Buddhism, so I can't speak on that. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what we were just talking about before I jumped way all over the place. Hey, look at that. Off topic is a topic, and my brain is now in a box somewhere. A friend also told me I should be sober for a bit. They don't know what kind of rage and fury I'm bringing forth. Maybe I should pulling inside me. I get it. I can relate. I totally get it. I'm just trying to be cozy and zenish. No, that's cool. That's very cool. Again, that is also, since you were talking about sobriety, that is also a reason that I gave up a lot of it. Because when I drink, I hate people, but none more so than myself. So that's something that I've been working through. But I also kind of like quit drinking when Jason was born. And by quit drinking, I mean like I drink 5 times a year, maybe, kind of thing. You know, today's Canada Day. Will I have a couple drinks? No, probably not. Honestly. My wife's birthday is coming up in 2 weeks. Will I drink then? Maybe. Probably not, though, because I find a lot of it fucks with my meds too much. So I would rather feel decent than, you know, feel disgusting by that interacting with my meds. Have you tried dissociative recall, finding a memory kind of remember? Then you just follow memories to try and remember what you can. If you got it properly, you can hopefully recall. I think that I do that a bit. There are a lot of things that I do have, like a lot of connect the dots kind of thing. Going back to other stuff, right? When my brain falls apart in real time here, sometimes I could find it if I do a quick scroll and something triggers in the chat we were talking about. There are other times though when, you know, when the brain shits the bed so wonderfully that I don't know what to do. Birthday was 2 weeks and 27 experience. Yes, you are. Yes, you absolutely are. I am not looking forward to my birthday this year. I'm really not looking forward to it. But on the other hand, happy early birthday to the wife. Yeah. Yeah, 2 weeks. I still got to figure out what I'm going to do for it. Because, you know, trying to plan for our birthday when you're living on disability, you're broke as shit, and you're limited on options. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But I'm going to talk to a friend of hers and get some ideas. I do know a place that I can go shopping for, though. I wonder if they do delivery. That would be handy. Another decade, yes. I know. I have already lived through 5 decades now. 70s, 80s, 90s, 90s, teens, 20s. 6. Broke as shit, pretty generous sometimes. Yes? Question mark? I talked about high school brains when I'm sober. I can see clearly how stupid everyone is. No, just most likely being stuck in a stupid line row. When you seriously try to do associative recall, sometimes you'll actually make them, even like flashcards. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, if I was actually taking notes for something, yeah, I would 100% do it. She doesn't need more stuff. No, she's very much into the plants. Please tell me I'm more peaceful once I turn 50 plus. I don't know. I cannot speak for your experience, nor would I dare to. I can only hope that it would be. I could say this much. If you're paying attention to shit, then, yeah, you can learn from it, right? It can be handy. Why do I have this open? That doesn't need to be there. Anyway, you'd be 56 this month. Hey! Well, happy early birthday to you as well. I was referring to how disability living is. I have friends on disability here in the States. It's interesting for them. It is, in Alberta, it is currently, I will just say it's a fuck show at this point. Today is actually the day that they started officially doing the changeover from what we call AISH to ADAP. AISH is the Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped, which is what I was on. They're changing it over to the ADAP, which is, I can't even remember what the fuck it's for. But essentially, they are giving you the opportunity to go and enjoy finding very meaningful work. No. It's not going to happen. 137 IQ, I generally feel disconnected from other people sometimes. In the way that you're describing here, nothing like being in a room. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to say I'm in that area and leave it at that. There's some disabled people in the stream the other day helping me come to terms with my mobility options. Yeah, that's something that I have to fight with. Function seems pretty accurate. Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, that is something that when I had my meetings yesterday, I discussed with the social worker, and she was so helpful. She is nerdy as shit. I swear to God, she's autistic. She has to be. Or ADHD at the very least. Hi, Lenny. Welcome back. I swear to God, she's got to be ADHD or autistic or something, because when the information manual came out for all of this shit, she dove right into it. Made spreadsheets and the whole nine. It was crazy. Takes training to consider people. I'm not 100% sure what you meant by that anyway. But yeah, she's waiting. Apparently their brand new manual was introduced today because they're doing the big changeover or whatever. So she's like diving right into that. So I have to call her on Monday, she said, and give her time to go through the manual and absorb all the information and all of that shit. No, it didn't. I got you. Hang on. Let me actually read that. It takes training to consider the room to have people in it. That is something I would have to mull over. Both are super nerdy. My family doctor is amazing. Just amazing. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been referred to so many people that have done so much help for me. Unfortunately, it is super loud. Super loud. Sorry, I was reading what Zen had and the word got stuck in my head. Super lucky, I guess is what I'm trying to say. He is fantastic. I love him. My neurologist, great. My occupational therapist, I've got a few of them. They're all great. My home care worker, he's a funny little guy. He's great. Social worker, great. Right? I'm so glad to have this team that I have behind me. But the way that the government is currently disassembling and destroying the system in order to get disabled people to basically go out and work and contribute financially, that would, contribute their existence to capitalism, more or less, right? It's bullshit. People that have been on disability for years that have never been able to work, and they have been shuffled off of it to this other ADAP program, and they're expected to go and find jobs and shit. Are you fucking joking me? Right? So this is what we're fighting against in Alberta. That's what it's like to live on disability up here. And I think it was a Weasel that was asking about that. It is as I said, it's a fuck show. It 100% is. It is just a gong show gone sideways. So yeah, for more on that, to follow my journey, I'm sure I'll be sharing that information more and more as it happens. Coffee down, baby. Yeah, I was doing. Yeah, it's a thing. I still have all my benefits for at least the next 18 months. At which time, I don't know what's going to happen. But before that, I fully expect... God damn it, I'm opening this door again that I don't want to go there. I fully expect that thanks to my neurologist, when I told him that I got my letter from the government that said, we are taking you off of this and putting me on the one where we expect you to work, the look of utter disgust on his face, I wish I took a picture of it. I don't even know if I can emulate it. But when I said that they are putting me on this, and he was just like, his brow was like furrowed way up, and his mouth was open. He's like, no, 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 you are absolutely not. I'm like, thanks, I think. So yeah, I guess I got him that's gonna fight. I've got my family doctor that's gonna fight. I've got my occupational therapist, the social worker. They're all gonna be like, this guy is not going to work. Fuck you. Because what am I gonna do? Right? Am I gonna be the guy at Walmart that hands out? I'd be the guy at Costco that hands out samples. Right? My energy level is gonna be just. Well, and the thing is too. Sorry, now I'm just ranting and rambling at this point. I can't go back to the previous job. My brain will let me. Thankful I had the voice career to keep the lights on. I'm very thankful for you having that as well. You know, I'm thankful for you guys all in the community that have helped. You know, I don't know if I say it enough. I feel like I don't. I don't know if you guys understand how much I appreciate all of you and all of the support you guys have given me during all of this, with be it this shit here, be it, you know, the subs on Twitch and whatnot, the members on YouTube and Facebook and all of that. Those of you who are like buying my book, those of you who have bought the coaching stuff, you know, like, I don't think you guys know how much I appreciate all of that. Because again, like Tracy was saying, you know, at least she had her voice to go back to keep the lights on. You got a whole station of like, yes I do. But you're right, they have no fucking clue. They really don't. And I'll get back to that in a sec. I want to gush on you guys for a second. I don't know if I do it enough. Like, I don't know if you guys understand how thankful I am for all of you. Like, true story. I'll go to bed now. You all have a nice. Sandra, mwah. Again, we went over this. I see you. As I said before, yours was one of the first podcasts I ever touched ADHD. It's vital to my recovery and healing. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I appreciate you sharing the studies and talking through things and having me say stupid things on topic. Shouldn't have said, don't worry about it. Still new here. So let me share right back to you, your stupid brain wheel. I appreciate all of you, honestly. Like, sincerely. Right? Like, the fact that Hoshi can share her story and whatnot. Zen, the fact that, you know, yeah, you're still newish around here and you ramble on. You know what? We all do. It's all good. I appreciate all of you guys having your 2 cents. It's fine now. Aw. Thank you. Again, it's only a short story. I have another couple of novels that I'm working on. Again, I just need feedback and editing stuff on it, but yeah, that's my gushing. Mwah, mwah. That's all I could say. But yeah, for what Tracy was in there. Again, I appreciate you saying that. Hi, Elspeth. Happy Canadian Day to you too. Being one of the first to touch on ADHD and stuff. Yeah, you know what? Thank you. I will have cars built for you guys. Because the YouTube ones aren't automatic like the Twitch ones. I've got to build them myself, and you know what? That's fine. I don't mind. I appreciate you guys. They're gonna get you on the train. Shit. What was I saying? Oh, about the being first. There are a lot of people that I have heard say that. I appreciate that. But you know, I have to share my appreciation to the others that I found that got me on this track, right? Katiosaurus was one of the first. Danny Donovan was the very first one that I found. I don't understand what coy means. The definition of coy. Standoffish. A brain boner for your chat. There's a fun smart people there every time. It's true. There really are. There really are. But yeah, Katiosaurus, Danny Donovan, Eric Goob, got to give thanks to him. Dr. Ina, who can be controversial, honestly, right? But the fact that she is a actual psychology teacher, who calls shit out, you know, like I always have, fantastic. I love it. TikTok. Okay, she's one of my favorites. And a Ren Fair queen, that is true. She's on tour right now. I don't know where she is, but I've been seeing some of her tour dates and such. But you chose to add your voice and educate and raise awareness. It takes cojones. Some days, you know what? I feel like it does. I'm not gonna lie. When I get ignorant and just uneducated people that I have to slap back into reality. Brain most sexual. There's the proper word. I don't know. Someone who acts shy, hesitant, and evasive. Thank you. Right. Standoffish was a word that just came to mind. I'm glad it was close. She needs to come to Canada. Yeah, she does, actually. The only problem is I think she will enjoy it too much and she might end up wanting to live here. Especially if she goes somewhere like Vancouver or Toronto. Sapiosexual attraction to smart people who want to... There's a very big controversy around that word and... Not the word, but the idea of sapiosexual. There's a big controversy around that. There's a reason you started getting called Squirrel. Well, yeah, because I was hammering on a lot of those people that were spreading bullshit, right? And I was going dad mode on them. That's where it came from. That's where the nickname came from. And I went, you know what? Yep. And then there were a couple of people who were like, you need to adopt me. And I'm like, okay. Kwame to act shy, modest, or in order to be flirtatious, or strategically withholds information to create interest engagement. I was close. The quiz is split again. Now I can say I love brains. Call me zombie then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sapiosexual. It's the idea of being attracted to intellect. There was a really big kerfuffle about that. I'm not a big fan of it. That's a much deeper conversation. Honestly, yeah, but a few years ago there was a lot to be said about it, I guess. Your passion is inspiring. Thank you. Because someone asked to define intellect. I think that might be a part of what the problem was. You adopted me too. I didn't say yes to being a kid. I was a crazy auntie, but I did. I went to the US. Yeah, you crazy as hell. Brainy is the new sexy. Amen to that. But there's a difference between being attracted to intelligence and intellect, I think. But I'm not going to get into all that. That was a giant shit show on its own. I'm just going to leave that as such. But yes, smart can be the new sex. People consider it class as an ableist. That was more or less the core of the kerfuffle. But also, Auntie, another thing I want to point out, somebody else that I adopted as a sibling is Gothic, right? I used to think I was attracted to intellectual people. I love my husband, and he's only intellectual about certain things. Otherwise, he's a murder one year. But I think he can. Words. Okay, I'm just gonna go up exactly what you said. Okay. I used to think of intellectual people. My husband, he's only intellectual about certain things. Okay, the idea, like, I think that a lot of us are very, especially for those of us who have special interests, fall into giant rabbit holes and stuff like that, right? Can be absolutely brilliant about a lot of things, but kind of meh in others. You know what I mean? I'm very much. I know a lot about space. Okay, for example, I know a lot about audio production, but I don't know everything. Right? I'll be the first to admit I don't know everything. I'm always down to learn brand new stuff, right? But I also have a Google Scholar sends me emails on the TRAPPIST star system, because that's one of my hyper focuses right now, right? Education related to class primer, I can see that. It can be potentially. You didn't help me, I just showed up and stayed. I mean, kind of. I mean, it was even a 711 points. As long as they're able to. Yep. Yeah, you were. And my daughter enjoyed a lot of those. But, I guess kind of where I was going with that, Hoshi, is that it sounds like he has got his own special interests that... Oh, shit, I didn't even notice that. Pause. It sounds like he's got a lot of the special interests that he, like, dives into and knows a lot about, right? There are a lot of us that do a lot of things like that, you know? Again, to point out autistics, special interests, you know, ADHD, hyperfocus rabbit holes, things like that. You know, becoming a professional in something days, in a matter of days, right? I was fantastic. I went down this giant rabbit hole years ago about like making foam armor and stuff like that. So like foam crafting. I became a veritable fucking professional about that shit within a week. And then I made a couple of things and then it got set aside and completely ignored, right? Hobby hopping, another one of our great things. I have the kind of ADHD brain that sponges up everything. Yeah, a lot of us do. Then you forget most of what you learned. Exactly, right? That's the thing with the audio production. I joke about that with Jay all the time, right? Because when he and I talk about his audio production, he comes to me for help and tips and shit like that, right? And I do my best I can to help him out. But one of the jokes that I make with him is, I have forgotten more stuff about audio production than a lot of people have ever learned, right? That kind of comes with the territory of having a special interest in audio production, audio design, things like that. Helped me so much with my correlation. Good, I'm glad this helped. I'm glad to have you here, Tracy. Special interest in all things SE and sword fighting. There you go, right? But as Story pointed out, you know, because of things like hobby hopping and whatnot, you become a veritable genius in a topic overnight, or within a few days kind of thing. Learn everything you can about it, and then you forget about it. Ignorance is not the absence of intelligence, first off. Agreed. What I've seen, non-significant number of those who identify safety such as jeopardy level of widespread knowledge, the ability to learn a large amount on any subject, then articulate that knowledge well enough. For many of them, there also lies another issue, the articulation of that information. Not everybody can do that part either. I have a bitch of a time articulating. You guys watch me do it in real time. There's a skill ceiling with foam crafting or understanding spaceflight or other things. Sword fighting. I'm going to partially disagree with you on that. And I'm going to call it specifically understanding space flight is one thing. Space in and of itself, though, right? That is like the never-ending spiral of what the fuck, right? Because there is so much brand new information coming out all the time, right? Somebody ringing a high-powered thing or whatever they're. I want you to do lots of stuff in real time. It's true. It is true. Pro voiceover YouTuber in Alberta. Not far from you, because he's like a pro YouTuber is in Alberta. Who are you talking about? I'm not sure who you're talking about. And I also see a timer ticking down here. You guys want to bullshit a little bit more, or yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do that. Self-care break. Let's have ourselves a little self-care break. Time to grab yourself some water, hit the bathroom, grab a snack, do what you gotta do. I'm gonna check in with my kid. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's hang out for a little bit more and let's do some more bullshitting.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yes.
On the floor. On the floor, 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 on
All right. Hopefully you guys were able to grab some stuff. I did not refill my coffee cup. I actually sat and talked to my kid for a moment. Planning out dinner because I do have an idea, thankfully. But that'll come in a bit. Tracy, I love that you pointed that out. Never memorize what you can look up. Albert Einstein. Yep. And Jay, it is hilarious that you just showed up now as I was... Your ears must have been burning, dude. Because I was just talking about you. I was able to figure out what fucking day it is. What, Canadian Day? And by the way, 63 months, my God. That's crazy. For your coffee? No worries. I got a Coke. Coke Zero, specifically. I'm all good. I appreciate your thought, though. Maybe Wednesday. What do I do now? We were talking about... We kind of got on the topic of audio production and the fact that it's a special interest for me, right? And with your music production, and we were talking about how I help you out with stuff, and you, you know, ask me for input and blah, blah, blah. And we do that. And just the joke that when it comes to a lot of the audio production stuff, the fact that I have forgotten more than most people have learned kind of thing. That was what we were talking about. So it was just... I was talking about your music. So there you go. Oops, crashed my phone. Jesus, don't do that. Why? Because I love my art and stuff. And the company I love. So, okay, but you're not allowed to say who it is? That sounds really fucked up. You are the mentor, I'd be the grasshopper. I mean, maybe, sometimes. I understand how the universe works better than I do how people work. Well, yeah, with the universe, you can kind of follow. It does have some patterns to it. There's a lot of it that I follow better than people do. I don't consider that a failing on my part. People extremely messy. They are. They 100% are. I feel like I'm smart. I feel misunderstood too, and often don't understand others either. That's, you know what? That's part of the autistic experience. Right? Don't be hard on yourself about it. I feel like I am not as smart as I thought. That happens. Clearly fuck up the social stuff. Yeah, a lot of us do that too. Feel misunderstood often by others. We don't understand others either. Yeah. Same. I did say who it is. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see it. Or rather, I haven't looked. So, that's fair enough. The technology changes so fast, it's hard to keep up. Yes, it is. Yeah, it absolutely is. But again, that's why I added to what you were saying there with never memorize what you can look up. Yeah, that's why Google and YouTube are your best friends. Ironically, the same company and the two top search engines on the internet. One owns the other. Who fucking knew? Not to mention, people don't often know how they themselves work. Yes! That's what therapy is for. People be doing stupid things though. As I have it in my rules so I don't forget. We love asking our Alexa stuff. Fair enough. I default to going to Claude, honestly. It needs to be a bumper sticker. Be kind to yourself. No, actually, if you look in, go to SquirrelDad.com, and if you look at some of the shirts that I have there, I have got my ending. It's like the opposite of my greeting. Drink your water, take your meds, be kind to yourself. That's on a shirt in 5 different colors. It's also on like a tank top for women too. But yeah, I've got the shirt myself in blue. It's available in blue, yellow, orange, green, and purple. But yeah, I should put that on the sticker as well, honestly. Is it a crime if it's for science? If it crosses the criminal line, then yes. I don't know what to say to that. Stupid me. I had more of the pressure cooker. Again, be kind to yourself. Stickers are great. Do it. And let me just pull up my to-do list. Under the merch thing. Drink water. Be kind. Stickers. So this is kind of what Angie was talking about either with the recall, right? I try and do that all the time. Actually, you guys see me do that. Put the notes in my notepad here, and if I don't put it well enough, I'm not gonna remember what it was. So that's why I try to be a little descriptive here. 15 minutes to get the fuck out of here. Yay! I'm the first degree that the idea never should have gotten. Done with trans stuff, most of the depression, but we never worked out the rest or the trauma. Then, in my humble opinion, you know what that means? Keep going. Keep going. Keep working on it. Right? Be the best you that you can possibly be. Therapy is one of the greatest things. Would you like some for your music change up? Sure. I'm always down to play with new stuff. 10 a day means I only have to work 9-hour shift. Ugh. Please tell me you're getting overtime for that other hour. Oh yeah, how many people came in, Jay? Since you are working? Were you guys like busy as fuck? I got a text from my wife not too long ago, telling me that, like I said, she would not be home for dinner because she was absolutely slammed at her store. So I'm very happy for DM my, give my music or CC license, take whatever. Thank you, Zencat. Hardest thing to do is ask for help. Yes, it actually very, very, very much can be. I struggle with that far more than I like to admit to myself. But it's true. One of the hardest things that you can do is ask for help. Acknowledge that there is something that you need addressed and to ask for the help for it. Yes. Today was mid at best. And yeah, I'm making more. Sorry, context slipped away on me there. But you're saying that your day was mid at best for like customer wise? Because yeah, my wife was just fucking slammed, she says. RSD for the win. I'm gonna agree to disagree, but I get your sarcasm. Yeah, RSD for the win. Fuck no. I think it's harder admitting to yourself that you need help, but even harder admitting that you deserve the help. Yes! I can agree with that. Adding on to it, one of the hardest things you can do is ask for help. It's harder admitting to yourself that you need the help, and even harder admitting that you deserve the help. Yes, Angie, I will agree with that. It's true. But again, a reminder, you do need to be gentle with yourself. And if it takes me telling you to do it, to be kind to yourself and admit that you may have something that you need to ask help for it, or with, question mark, you know what I mean. Yeah, be kind to yourself. If there is something you need help with, don't be afraid to ask for help. Even if it's something in the community here, right? We've got a lot of people here that will be happy to give you as much help as they can. Even if it's just pointing you in the right direction. If you need help, ask for it. I say that to myself. I say that out loud so that I can hear that myself. Nope, didn't come for this. Yes, you fucking did. Link said, thank you very much. Alright, cool. Teal purple big fan man. I will leave that conversation to you two because I know like nothing about it. It's for everyone. First, I love you. Second, if you feel like you need permission to ask for help. No, you didn't. I'm giving you permission. Ask for help if you need it. That is from Angie and from me. 100%. By the way, Angie, appreciate the shit out of you. So yes, reminder, we love you. You are loved. Got appreciation for the community during panic attacks. We're happy to help. We are happy to help. We are proud to be here to support you in any way that we can. Again, even if it's just pointing you in the right direction. If you need coaching, I opened my coaching back up. By the way, if you guys are interested in that, for the community here, you guys are still half price. If you can trust the help. I can't. Shit happened in my life. I get it. I understand that. Sometimes you feel like you can't, but you know what? That's why I say therapy, honestly. Hey there, back. I love everyone. But that bot. Yeah, the bot's kind of a pain in the ass. It really is. But yeah, here, shameless self promo. If you guys need coaching, I'm opening the coaching back up. Half price for you guys. Normal rate is $60 a sesh. Normally I ask for 3 sessions, but you guys are half price. All of you. Last time Spad needed a love bad, he was sent his own. You shut the fuck up over there. Helping us give us a dopamine so it's self-serving. I've seen that. I'll give you an example. When Jamie or Road shows up and decides they're going to go ape shit on the subs and just drop like 5, 10, 20, 25 subs on Twitch. Yeah, that's, for them, that is like, they tell me that is dopamine hell. for them. And of course, it turns me into a blubbering idiot, but whatever. When there is testifies in court against you, no. Okay, I get that. I understand. Okay. I don't know what further to add to that. Elspeth, mwah. Appreciate the hell out of you. I can't good mind tell you on stream how trauma fuckery I've become a lightning cup, but I enjoy the support in chat. One, you're welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Two, your trauma is valid. Whatever you have gone through, your lived experience is valid. Let nobody tell you otherwise. Three, what you are going through, I am sorry for whatever hardships that you are going through. I hope that you can find some way that will help you heal that trauma. Time to shut down, see Friday. All right, Jay. Maybe talk tonight. Understanding is all I need. Fair enough. Mwah. Big love to you, Elspeth. But yeah, Zencat, with the shit that you're going through, again, I'm sorry for what you have to go through. I don't know your trauma. I cannot speak to your trauma. I would not dare speak to your trauma because I'm not a therapist. I just say that whatever you are going through, your lived experience is valid. We are here for you. Yeah, fuck yeah. If anyone says it's not valid, send them my way. Yeah, Nadia will kick their ass. It's what I do. Yes, it is what you do, and I appreciate the hell out of it. I'd like to apply for talk about some real spicy stuff. Talk about whatever you like. By the way, reminder to all of you, and this is not just pointed at Zencat, even though I just kind of pinned them to the wall and gave them a little love bat tap. My trauma are all valid, but there, and I need a very good science talk. Okay. Fair. For all my trauma holders in chat, everyone who has ever been told, you're strong, I'm so sorry because I wish... Okay, hold on, back up. This is from Angie, for those of you that can't see it. For all my trauma holders in chat, everyone that has ever been told, you're so strong, I'm sorry because I wish you weren't strong because I wish you had been safe. I like the way that you put that. I understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. Let me try and dissect that for those that can't read it. Yes, if somebody has ever told you that you are so strong for going through what you are going through, point one, yes, you absolutely are. Point two, I understand what Angie is saying, where she says that I'm so sorry because I wish you had been safe instead of having to have gone through what you went through. I 100% agree with that. I stand with that too. Yeah, you are strong, but I wish you had been safe instead. I've seen the Sunday I got a track from my AR music and I make stage crew of this. Laughed around me and let me cry and took over my shift. That was very nice of them to support you in that way. Being neurospicy has been an adventure, especially since I've been diagnosed since 6 as a woman. And yeah, that was something, that was kind of the topic that we had today. Doesn't last year. I am not gonna, I'm not gonna do a burst of Posy Taco. I'm just gonna tell you again, we're kind of hitting everybody with it today, right? 100% we did. We're here for you. I stand with the fact that you will never get over trauma. You learn to live with it and all the fuckery that may entail. That is the unfortunate truth. In a lot of cases, when it comes to trauma, you don't necessarily get over it. You have to learn how to live with it. It's the same with loss. We were talking about that with Hoshi We were talking about that with Hoshi earlier. Thank you, Lips, for keeping up to my brain. Sometimes being seen is all we need. And around here, we see ya. Depression and trauma are my special research topic. I'm not super into the ADHD or autism stuff. I know my depression, but I know my way around depression and trauma as a plural. Okay, that's fair. When it comes to the plurality, I try not to touch that because I know very little about it. I would not dare to speak on it. I would rather have somebody who knows more about it speak on it. But again, we're here to support you in it. I developed philosophy based on trauma, but I saw someone tell a 15-year-old that their trauma made them strong and they should be thankful for that. First I thought disgusting, second I thought about the actual fuck no. Yeah, yeah. Well, it sucks that somebody at 15 years old has to be told that. That's what sucks, in my humble opinion. Somebody who has to be strong as a 15-year-old for the things that they went through. Yeah, that is shit. Right? I wish that they never had to go through that. Yes, it does make them stronger when they come out the other side of it and learn how to cope with it and live with it. As we were saying, it was Zencat, just to tack on to what you and Angie are saying. Yeah, it sucks that somebody has to go through a bullshit experience like that and learn how to live with it. I wish that they never had to go through it. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Angie. Trauma is trauma regardless of the person for everyone. Yeah, all trauma is valid, in my opinion. Your lived experience is valid. No two stories are the same. I have told you guys before the story of when I was in high school and the one girl who her greatest trauma was, and this is just the condensed story, but her greatest trauma was daddy took away the car keys, right? Versus there was somebody else in high school, their trauma was they were like SA'd, throughout their childhood. Those two experiences are not the same. However, what they felt as that being some of like the hardest shit they've ever gone through is valid. Even though they are not the same, right? But everybody's lived experience, my mic is twisted. Everybody's lived experience is valid. Yeah, it sucks. Somebody may think that is laughable, but to them, that is the hardest thing that they have ever gone through. Broken is not dead. We were disabled for your choice. Do I want to live broken or just die? That sounds like something my therapist and I were talking about not too long ago. Ditto my pixelated persons. That sounds like something my therapist and I were talking about not too long ago. Oh god, I'm opening the door again. Okay, at this point, sorry, I hate talking about this stuff because it's still things that I'm going through and whatnot with my therapist. One of the things that she wants me to focus more on is legacy, right? What am I going to leave behind? Who am I going to be remembered as? And it kind of sucks and it's kind of morbid to think about. I did not want to go here today, but here we are. Legacy, sorry. I apologize if you guys didn't catch that. The path of the seed. Yes. Right? Because, and I hate to admit it, but it is something that I have to accept, is that while my MS is not a terminal thing in and of itself, it may be the accomplice, right? If you understand what I'm saying. These are things that I have to keep an eye on. One of them is my swallowing, right, to eat, and the other is my breathing. These are things that I have to really keep an eye on because of the way that the MS is affecting me. So it is not going to be the MS is not going to be the murderer, but it's going to be the accomplice, right? Is things that I have to look at. So legacy is what is something that she wants me to focus on. So that I think the way that I've interpreted that for myself is trying to work on stuff with my family, as well as, you know, my writing, my music, my advocacy. These are the things that I'm trying to keep an focus on. You know what I mean? Remember, you don't have to talk about anything you're not government ready to. Oh, I know, Lenny. I know. I need to remind myself that sometimes, right? I'm kind of trying to be delicate about it because, yeah, there are things that after this past week that I'm still trying to process. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to skirt some of it. Avoiding it doesn't make it go away. That being said, you don't have to talk about it publicly. I wouldn't put off dealing with it. During I need to talk to this. Fair enough. And you're right, Angie. Right. And it's not that I'm avoiding it. I'm not trying to intentionally avoid it. It's just there is some of it that I'm still very deep in the processing part of it. So like I don't want to. How do I want to word this? There is some of it that I am still comfortable talking about. There are other parts of it that I still need to like absorb. You know what I mean? No, I appreciate you, Lenny. I think. Thank you. So yeah, like I said, it's not that I'm not avoiding it. I'm still processing it, right? So I don't want to go muddling through that before I don't want to say done processing, but before I have a better grip on it. You know what I mean? Facing our own finite life and coming to the realization of how personal our life is fucking hard. Yes, it is. Yes, it absolutely is. Right? I'm trying my best not to look at it. God damn it, I really didn't want to be here today. I'm trying not to look at it as a terminal thing. You know what I mean? But I need to accept, and I have kind of accepted that that's probably the reality, right? So that is kind of why my therapist wants me to more focus on the legacy part of things. Never done to. No, you never are, regardless what kind of grief that is. Right? Again, going back to what Hoshi was talking about, there is going to be that grief. It's a matter of, just like so many other people I've actually brought and have actually talked about in the chat today, is the learning to cope with it, learning to live with it, right? Yes, you're 100% on, Tracy. You're never done dealing with the grief, but learning to live with it, learning to face it, that is hard, right? In and of itself, that is super difficult. It absolutely can be. We never know what happened to us while you're present here right now. It's a fucking miracle. No, you. My current path is a new friend who. Sorry, chat move. My current path with this new friend who does most of their day in a wheelchair is learning to accept the limits and accepting radically that I'm disabled. Yes, that actually directly nails a lot of what I am processing right now. Yeah, you hit it on the head for me. So you're still dreaming in the grieving process. Yeah, I really am. Honestly, I won't deny that. I won't deny that at all. Right? And I can't remember who we were talking to about that before. I think it was on somebody in YouTube, I think. where we were talking about the grieving process. Right? It was whoever had, might have been Zencat actually. I don't know. The point is that the grieving process, the anger, the loss, the looking at shit with a new lens, and the acceptance, the acceptance is the hard part, right? That is the part that is a lot of the part that I'm going through the processing right now. Fuck. You nailed me to the wall there, Zencat. Sorry, I'm kind of at a loss here for a second. The grief I'm dealing with the loss of my person. Love without a place to go is my grief. Was that the dog? Sorry, I heard the dog and it fucked me up. Yeah, Zen, you're nailing me to the wall right now with a lot of this. Just notice I'm a platypus on the bottom of this thing. Are you? No, you're Psyduck is who you are. Yeah, yours is Psyduck. I think it was Angie who pointed that out. So yeah, if you know your Pokemon. Spent the winter over there, trying to get better. Just comparing on. I am just there, and I wish to talk about these early stages because I am there. By all means. Like I said, you're fucking nailing me to the wall right now because I am going through a lot of this myself. There were 7 and they're definitely not linear. No, I know they're not linear, 100%. They're different for everyone. It's not a straight line. Exactly what Angie just said. They're not linear. I have to be approved? Who we got? Chris, are you still kicking about? If nobody gets you before the end of the stream, I'll try and get you at the end of it. I got nothing but I am here for. Do I have a Pokemon? If I do, yeah, you seem to be a lemon. I want to apologize for that, but we're gonna do that. It is absolutely something we can have a further discussion on. We posted at the same time. Yeah, you did. She was hard on me for being in denial. Well, that's part of the stages, right? I'm only focused on being a Pokemon. I will admit, I'm not 100% sure how you can change that on YouTube. I know on Twitch you can change that because there is a little stream avatars thing below. You know what? I can actually let me add that to my notes here because I know that's something somebody had asked me about that before. Stream avatar changes for YouTube. I will check into that. Too much laugh. Why? Because you're a lemon? It's better to laugh and cry. Aim into that. Also, I got a nice walking cane with a most grandma pattern. I will challenge you. I think mine actually has the most grandma pattern because I actually got it when my wife and I went out to Winnipeg for her grandmother's funeral. I actually have her cane. So mine is like super fucking grandma pattern. That's pretty more of an adult humor. Again, something we talked about not too long ago, the fact that a lot of us use the dark humor to get by. Amused by small things. A lot of us are. It's about the Discord. Thanks, Dan. I believe it is Zencat who needs approval or whatever. I don't know if you can DM them and handle that for me, my friend. I'm a lemon, life's a lemon. I want my money back. There's that whole portal rant that goes there. Ari, it's Ari on Discord. My next post is going to be dark. Have at it. A lot of us do that. Again, if it needs a trigger warning, attach it to it, please. But that was... I don't know if you saw my article on that. Or my... it's actually... the stream is still up. Where we had the full discussion on how dark humor... Right? And neurodivergence and dark humor. When I was trying to find information... It's funny how many times I say this. When I was trying to find information on the neurodivergence and menopause... for that article, because that was a requested one, I found information on that. There wasn't a whole lot, but when I did the research for neurodivergence and dark humor, I found a fucking ton of actual peer-reviewed resources on the fact that we use this dark humor to cope with things, right? I wrote a whole article on it. It's still up on my Substack somewhere. I believe the video is still up on YouTube, right? We had a whole ass discussion on that. It was huge, the amount of information I found. A warning, I am a trigger. I can't find the channel to Ping Plum. Not 100% sure what you meant. He died the way he wanted to, with a naked woman in his lap screaming his name. Okay, yeah, that's dark as fuck. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you, my friend. Oh, by the way, something I'd forgotten to do was this. I forgot to do that. Our good friend Dan here, who is not only a mod in the stream here, he's also a mod in the Discord, and he's a fabulous streamer. So if you're not following him, make sure that you are. Dark humor here for it. Oh yeah. No, Auntie, that was dark as fuck, and I am on board with it. If I recommend inside laughter helps. Fabulous, he's all right. Yeah, he's all right. He's okay. Hey, he's good enough that we appreciate having him around here. So there you go. Dan is okay, I suppose. He's got his days. In the Discord, you should be able to change your nickname, like, no problem. Is it better to follow Twitch or Discord? Well, I mean, they're both very different things, right? For the Twitch, it's the stuff that we have here. The Discord, it's like our giant community. I want to say it's like a chat room with a whole bunch of different channels and voice channels for people who want to, like, hang out and chit-chat and shit. Brave one. You married a Canadian. You said I was a brave one. I was next. Jesus fuck. Grandma wants to know. Yeah, Twitch is like more for the... It's very similar to YouTube, right? In that when I go live, we have our conversations here. I do my coaching and whatnot on here. The Discord, it's like an ongoing chat, right? It's like 24/7, or can be. Oh, I could take that off of my list. I could take both these things off my list. Yay, look at that. Me being productive, yay. Yeah, that's my god. One last thing. Yeah, fuck that guy. Discord is hard. Discord is going hard. I give it. Okay, yeah, we already said that. Name change. DM me. Yeah, I think Nadia can do it if you need help. Good enough for now. Take a quick bathroom thingy. Custom VCs. Yeah, that's right. Don't own enough black coats or trench coats for that. I got a Jesus fuck off succeeded. Yay, productivity. Yes, you did. That was, like I said, that was dark as fuck. Speaking of, however, just thinking here, I should probably get some dinner going for my kid. Probably. Yeah, and off topic is always the topic. Amen. I disagree. Not everything is valid. Okay, no, we talked about that earlier with toxicity. Yeah. And you're dealing with disability acceptance. Yes, I am. Members, just not staff. Jason would probably appreciate food. Yes. Weekend share. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. We are. Here's what I'm gonna do. All right. We are gonna do a little roll of the credits. Those of you on Twitch, we are gonna bounce over and go say hi to our good friend Tiamara. So I am gonna go get some food. I appreciate the shit out of all of you. Again, I want to gush over every one of you. You guys are amazing. I appreciate every one of you guys being here, taking the time to hang out and spend it with this guy. I just had a twitch of the power for some reason. Yeah, I appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you. Oh, we got a thunderstorm. That's why. I just heard the thunder. Well, there we go. It's a good time. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for taking the time and hanging out with me here. I hope you guys learned something when we actually did the coaching part. I hope you guys feel seen and heard and validated. Your existence is appreciated. Thank you all for being here. I will be back on Friday. We will have a new topic. It will be... Oh, shit. I totally forgot to look it up. Hang on. Let me just have a quick peek here. And I'll tell you what Friday's topic is going to be. I'll give you a little advance notice. Okay, it is a broader topic on... And it's one that just came out in the last week. It is expansion of autism spectrum disorder, broader autism phenotype, and family members. It is from the Journal of Developmental and Physical Disabilities. Blah. That's what we're going to be talking about on Friday. I hope you guys are going to be here. Come hang out. Let's have a chit chat. I will tell you guys all of what was found in the information, or in the journals there. We'll discuss it, and then anything and everything else under the sun. Again, I appreciate every one of you. Thank you all for being here. Drink your water. Take your meds. So no calls for Jay, got it. This one had some. Drink your water. Take your meds. Be kind to yourself. I love your faces. I will see you all here Friday. I'll roll the creds, and then we are on Twitch going to jump over and raid to Tiamara. Take care of yourselves. I will see you in the Discord after I make my kids some food.